and we are live.
Cool.
Yeah, so we played this yesterday for about 3 hours. I am presently, because I never played this before, right? So we are presently at the point in the game where I need to get 500 rupees in order to buy the flippers. And we spent like a good 30 minutes, just me and Lawrence, who also hasn't played this game, trying to figure out where to get freaking money. And we couldn't figure it out. So,
right. I didn't play this game, but I did play the 3DS one that was based on it, kind of.
The Link Between Worlds?
Yeah, that one.
I'm about to say, I saw the Game Grumps playthrough of that. I think I have an idea as to where I need to go to get money, but I just need to figure out how to get out of this forest. Once I figure that out. Hello, Grant.
How's it going?
Hey.
How's it going, dude?
Hey there.
Whoa.
Is Grant really quiet? Might just be talking quiet.
Am I?
You might just be talking quiet.
Hello.
Hello, Grant. I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
How's
if...
it going, Adrian?
It might just be
It's
in,
going.
it might just be in comparison to Adrian. Sorry, yes. We're good. Please resume.
Okay.
It's going. I had Popeyes for the first time today in quite a while.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. I found out I had an epiphany because usually I'm awake at night and pretty late, and that's when I order food. And so I've been having cravings for Popeyes for the last couple of nights, and every time I'm like, I want to get a chicken, but they don't. It only comes with tea, and I don't like tea. And I tried ordering it today, and it's like, wait a second. If I order it during the day, I can order it with soda or other drinks. So at night they just turn off or don't have soda or other drinks besides tea, I guess.
Oh, really?
Apparently, if you order it online and order late, yeah, you can't get the tea, or you can't anything but tea as far as drinks. But if you order during the day, then you can order the other normal drinks.
So you got it during the day?
I got it during the day. I got it maybe concerningly early. I got Popeyes at 11 and then napped because my life is a...
I mean, you say 11, but 11 could be like that's like an early lunch,
That's
and
a lunch time.
Popeyes isn't
Yeah,
concerning for lunch.
I mean, I was just gonna say that my life has devolved into a sinful display of gluttony and sloth, but
Well,
I was
like that, though.
I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting more people to agree with me, but I'm a little bit saddened. Anyway, hey Lawrence.
I could agree with you, despite the fact that I have very little context to what I was talking about.
That your life has devolved into a sinful display of gluttony and sloth.
I feel like that applies to me too.
Well, Grant and Zach over here being productive, it sounds like.
I'm trying my best to
Oh.
be productive.
I gave up my life.
Sounds very productive, Grant.
What?
You
Hang
fool!
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
No, I'm no expert, but that doesn't add up.
I'm gonna die.
It was
Die.
for a sweepstakes.
Ooh.
Alright.
Did you know that apparently whenever, like, legally they make a sweepstakes, they have to offer a monetary equivalent alternative to it if you win?
I did not know that.
Really?
That's interesting.
It's a weird legal thing that I think is the reason why people stop making sweepstakes.
Oh yeah, because you don't really see them that much anymore, huh?
Because they used to be up all the time, but then I guess, I don't know exactly how or why, but someone was like, hey, I don't want this, I just want money equivalent to what this would cost, and they were like, and then a court apparently was like, yeah, that sounds like a thing we should mandate, let's do that.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
That sounds like reasonable, and then the companies were all like, we don't want to give out money though, we want to give out this thing.
We want to give out this thing
wanna
that
give out
cost us
this
less
thing.
to procure. Procure?
Exactly.
Procure.
Is procure a word? Procure.
And I don't think so. Procure.
I combine
You're saying
procure and acquire.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like professionally acquire, so procure.
Professionally
Procure.
acquire. So
By the way, since the
allegedly,
last time, if you found out how to get more money,
according to the thing that Grant sent me,
Money.
the trick is to just do this apparently, because I guess the pots and the rupees just respawn every time.
Epic.
so
it's
like
actually
at
what I said
60
last
every
time, which
time?
is robbing this poor dude.
I guess you're
again.
right. I don't know. I just kind of assumed yesterday, like, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't make it just spawn infinitely. That'd be ridiculous.
To be fair, what I said it does for the ha-has. I didn't think it would
You
be
get 50 every time.
So I only need to do it. Well, I already had like 200, but in theory, I would only have to do this 10 times
Yeah.
to
Easy.
get flippers.
And the dude looks
Flippas.
mad.
Flippas sounds like a modern shoe brand.
Flippas sound like a
Flippas.
rapper.
Flippas with a Z.
MC Flippas.
And instead of an
MC
I, it's a Y.
Nice. Flippas.
Flippers.
Flippas.
Flipin', no flipin'.
We know what
He's
this
a Gen Z
generation
rapper,
wants.
so he uses despite like being a cool
So
rapper
he references
guy.
Dora.
Yeah, he references Dora the Explorer in his name. That's what I'm saying. He's like ironic, you know, like Gen Z.
That's pretty good.
And then he's got his own shoe line that's called Boots. The monkey.
Not flippers.
No.
Yeah, his name is Flippas, and then he's got a shoe line named Boots the monkey.
But instead of O's,
Yeah.
it's 2 U's.
And,
And then a
monkeys in
Z. And then a
parentheses.
Z at the end.
Z
Yeah.
And then a
with
Z.
Yeah.
umlauts over the
With an I was gonna
With an
say, there's gotta be an
Wait, so
umlaut.
each U has an umlaut over it? So in equivalent, it's 4 U's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's boots.
the monkey.
Boots.
The monkey. The monkey is just normally spelled.
Yeah, normal spelling.
But in parentheses.
The monkey.
No, wait. Instead of it being spelled normally, I would like to make the proposition of it's boots and the monk, and then the monkey part is MON and then a special character that looks like a key. And
I thought you were gonna
all
say if the rest is emojis.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's like the emoji of a key, and all the marketing companies are really pissed. Oh, I'm already at 500. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Because they can't put it in text easily.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, God damn it.
Well, the second part is a key emoji. The first part is like a bald Tibetan monk emoji.
Oh, monk. That's really good.
Monkey.
So when they do the legal documents and they have to like write it out, it's monk key with 2 Ks.
I imagine Flippa looks like Post Malone.
Why is this guy spinning out rupees? Oh, that's neat.
Flippa is just. Oh, have
Flippo
you guys
looks
seen
like Post Malone.
Have you guys seen Unposted Malone?
I have.
Wait, I
What
got
does
it. It's just a K.
What does pre-post Malone look like?
Clean and normal.
Pre-post Malone is just pre-Malone.
Yeah.
Pre-Malone also sounds like a really interesting like biography of a fictitious magical person. Boots the monkey. Boots. It's really good.
All right. When are we doing the tracks? When are we releasing this?
Grant, that's your
to the world?
responsibility.
Why is it mine?
I don't know.
You
I
have
don't know of
to-
any way. Actually, I guess Lauren you rap and Lawrence will do the background saxophone. Have you ever heard a rap artist being
jazz rapper.
backed by a sax? I haven't.
But only a sax, there's no other
It's got
instruments.
sax
Exactly.
appeal.
It's got sax. Flippas has sax appeal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is the only thing besides Flippa's voice a saxophone? Is there no like track behind him or
Yeah,
beats?
no,
Just
there's literally nothing.
Just sax.
Well, actually,
Wow.
because in a normal rap album, there's like, you know, sometimes they'll be like the backing track of like the drum beat or whatever, and then sometimes somebody will be beatboxing, and so he has that, but it's all just other saxophones.
I like to imagine that
Beatbox saxophone
occasionally.
is cool.
I like to imagine that occasionally he sneaks in the sound of his like manager coughing into every song. As an Easter egg.
So you're saying that I'm his manager?
Yeah, like in every song, there's a little Easter egg where if you listen really close, really quick, and you're.
What if the song just cuts out? It's the cough, and then it resumes.
It's really obvious.
I mean, if you stop and listen very closely, on every single Flippa's album, there is a special Easter egg known as the song.
The song.
That's the special Easter egg. No, just the music. That's the Easter egg itself.
Yeah,
That's the Easter egg.
we all buy the album for the cough.
Exactly.
The meme where it's like, in American Psycho, Christian Bale makes a brief appearance for almost the entire movie.
Yeah. That's almost exactly the type of energy I was thinking of. Lawrence, do you remember where the guy is? He's up here, right? I have to go
It's like
all the
way
around.
in the corner.
The master guy.
The master man.
He's like a big fishman. Remember when these fishmen turned into hot fish people later? That was weird.
Oh yes.
Weird. What are you talking about?
Weird sounds normal to me.
Sounds okay to me.
It's like it's like the
Exactly.
crab cycle, but it's the hot anime protagonist cycle, where no matter what your enemy design is, eventually, if the franchise exists long enough, you will become a hot anime person.
You either die a gross fish person or live long enough to become a hot anime person.
Exactly.
Exactly.
See? It's the anime cycle. It's tangential to the crab cycle.
The anime cycle of life.
The cycle of life.
You will be hot.
You will be hot.
You will be
That is a threat.
Hello, Saba. Saba's in chat.
Oh, she is. All right.
Susie. What do you want, little man? I'll sell to you for 500. Here you go. I earned like 50 on the way here. I will give you a free bonus with your purchase. Which link lakes and rivers. When you see a whirlpool, dive into it. You never know where you'll surface. That's not the best advice.
Nah, just do it.
Yeah, now I can swim in deep water like this.
Don't forget to drink
Yeah.
deeply of the water.
Drink it all.
Saba
Drink
apparently
deeply.
has enough connection by the beach to listen, but she may clip in and out. All right, that's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Drink
We're just
deeply of the
chilling.
well of pride.
It's already
Oh.
good enough that he have some connection next to a beach, of all places.
So, Adrian,
Yes.
we mentioned this yesterday with the new schedule and the fact that we only stream for like 3 hours instead of 4, and then the fact that you're not available on Fridays means that we have to actually go through. We have to make a concerted effort more than usual to go through banter topics.
Okay.
So this is me cordially inviting you to bring up one of your banter topics since you're here less often than the rest of us.
Sure. The first one I see that we haven't already talked about is the in-character comedy shield, which
Character comedy.
I feel like it's not impossible to guess what that is. But I just was reflecting on how interesting it is where you know when you have this is gonna be meta. You know when you have a good bit and the bit is really funny and you're playing as a character, but normally if someone else were saying that bit, you'd be busting your gut, you'd be laughing out loud, as the kids say. But because you're in character, you have an easier time not laughing to maintain or build upon the bit.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up with that? That's just an observation. I don't have anything.
What's up with that? That's weird.
I don't
right?
have
Let's deal with airline food.
I don't have anything clever besides pointing it out, but I think it's interesting how being in character makes it easier to not laugh at the absurdity of being in character.
I get it must be like I mean not as like a legitimate answer, but it must be some sort of derivative of like you subconsciously understanding that if you crack up laughing, it's effectively going to ruin the joke.
So you're
So like you're
Incentivized to
you're
continue
protecting your
'cause it's
own
money.
humor. What the frick? Who's this homeless guy?
Trying to bully him.
I'm gonna.
Bully him.
He
with
just
the
gave me
cops.
a bottle.
He just said you seem being in control. He's living under a bridge.
Yeah, man, he's chilling.
Can
He's
you
fine.
take water from the river and dump it on his campfire?
Do it.
I want to take his tent and push it into the river. I
Push it
really,
into the fire.
I
We're gonna push it on the
I
fire and
actually
then push it
just
in the river.
noticed. So I've been attacking like this, right? Which attacks in like a 90-degree arc. But if I actually hold the button, he does like a full 180. And then obviously there's the classic charge that's 360. That's really neat.
Right.
That's like more combat depth than was necessary for a game like this.
But it's cool.
It's
The good
cool.
old
That's what I'm saying. I think
360.
I'm saying it's neat. I also
It's
like how when
lukewarm.
Link swims, he desperately gasps for air.
He's being
gosh,
held.
no.
He's being held aloft only by the magic of his flippers. He has no idea how to swim.
He's taking in air, so he'll make himself lighter.
He's
Well-
taking air to counteract all the water he's also taking in.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, Link. I don't know if you're aware of this,
You come to
but
town.
water is mostly made of air. So if you actually swallow enough of it, you'll be able to breathe.
Correct.
Link goes, really? Just fucking dies. It's really good.
I will move on
In
to my next.
character comedy shield. What a fucking observation.
But
I would have noticed.
I mean, it's an observation.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that, like I don't know. Like if I had to assume where that observation came from, it was you doing like a D&D thing, and like you were doing like a really funny yucking joke. But then you thought about it for a second, and you were like, "Why am I not laughing at this? Why is everyone else laughing? Am I funny?"
Well, it's not terribly far off from the premise, but yeah.
No, yeah.
I had this one is more of a story one, so there's more substance to this one. You would rather escape than eat this hamburger? So I'm mostly nocturnal now because I don't like dealing with children or fostering two kids, and they're awake during the day. So I went to take a shower pretty late at night, and I go over there. I've got my clothes. I'm in the shower. I look in the shower, and I see a big ass, like, actually not that big, but like decently sized, like a spider, like maybe a little bit smaller than a dime.
Uh-oh.
About as big as a dime, a little bit smaller. And so I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be there. So I think, like, what do I have that I can use to trap this thing? Because I don't have like big, obvious, like clear glasses in my house. We don't have those. So I look to my side and I see one of the kids doesn't quite know how to shower yet. They're in the transition going from baths to showers. So there's this big bowl that she uses. So I kind of have to
Making me
figure out.
nervous.
This takes me like
Yeah.
a good this takes me a good 5 minutes. I get the spider into the bowl, and it's the side of the bowl too steep for the spider to climb out of. Apparently, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put you outside now, little guy. I managed to save you without killing you because I don't like killing spiders. So I go to him outside. As I'm walking outside, I notice on the door frame to the garage, which leads outside, there's this huge cockroach. The cockroach is like 3 times as big as a spider. And so I'm like, that's unacceptable. I hate you. And so I wear slippers around the house. I take off
Your
my,
existence is unacceptable.
I take off
That's
my
what
slipper.
Adrian
I smash
would say to me every morning when we lived together.
Correct. And then much like I would do to Zach, I took off my slipper and smashed this thing.
It's not far off.
Slipper and smash the thing, and I managed to scoop the thing without touching it into the bowl with the spider. I'm like, cool. I gave the spider a big ass meal, and the spider.
And so the spider multiplied in size.
The spider continuously scrambled around the thing, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to watch this spider eat this horrible monster. So I delayed I delayed putting the spider outside for like a couple of minutes, but the entire time the spider was only desperately trying to scramble and escape the bowl, rather than eat this dead cockroach that I completely hunted for it. Like I hunted food for this thing. It denied my
It turned me down.
Exactly.
It declined my gracious gift.
I was gonna say it rejected my charity.
I think I see where this is coming from now.
So I'm just thinking like. I was indignant. I was like, what the hell, why aren't you eating? And then I realized, like, I trapped this thing in a big bowl, and I asked it, you would rather escape than eat this hamburger I provided you? And I'm like, you know what, that actually makes sense.
If somebody, like, essentially kidnapped you, put you in a room, and then gave you, like, not even your favorite meal, but just, like, a decent meal, would you
like a
eat
lot
it?
of it.
Yeah,
like the meal is
of
bigger
like
than my body
food.
mass.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'd probably think it was poisoned.
Exactly, right? I'd be like, I still want to
Did the
get out of
spider
here.
think that?
Before I had the revelation, I literally had to look up because I was like, why isn't he eating?
Hey, Lawrence, are spiders capable of revenge?
Well, I legitimately looked up, like, do spiders eat cockroaches? And they do, but they do, but not apparently if you trap them and they panic and want to get out. And I will also say that there may be even some wisdom into it, because while I was going to put the bowl and just dump the spider outside, the cockroach twitched. They didn't know that cockroaches played dead. Because I smashed him pretty goddamn hard. It was like a clean smash. He was on like the flat frame of the door. I smashed him flat with my... I thought he was fully dead. But no, he twitched and was alive.
Well, I mean, according to popular theory,
Surprise.
you have to hit that cockroach with more force than a nuclear explosion. And I don't know if you're capable of that, Adrian.
But
Says
anyways,
you.
long story short...
Oh my god, Adrian pulls off his sandal and just obliterates the shit out of me in the morning. The entire apartment has been laid to rubble because I said good morning to Adrian.
Exactly. And similarly, I'd also trap Lawrence in the bowl with Zach after I did that. I had a lot of experience going into this.
This is by far the most uncomfortable banter topic that I've ever been a part of.
Well, you don't think that it would be comfortable being in a bowl with me? That's not very nice, Lawrence.
But Zach, after being crushed by a slipper with the power of a nuclear bomb.
I'm freshly cooked, essentially.
Right.
It's like the question of, can you slap a chicken hard enough to cook it? It's like, can you hit Zach hard enough with a sandal in order to cook him so Lawrence would actually find him appetizing? Please answer. I need to know.
At the end of the day, or at the end of that excursion, though, I did go, before I showered, I went outside with the bowl, I dumped it outside. It was, like, dark, and by dark, I mean it was dark enough that I didn't think to bring a flashlight, so when I tipped the bowl over upside down, they both disappeared, I didn't see where they went to, so I just went inside and forgot about them.
They went back inside to their respective locations.
They could have. I would fucking hope that spider came back to this location where the cockroach was laying, and eventually... Who the fuck is this guy?
I lost my lamp. Wait, I'm supposed to guide him through here, I guess? Okay.
Or why not?
Watch your step. Also going to the mountain, look for the golden powder. Just ahead is a mountain full of monsters. Many people have vanished in the mountain. I'm assuming you're a bad guy, and I'm gonna die because of you.
He's blind. Bandit.
But yeah, long story short, I took a shower after that, and it was fine.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's how the story started.
Yeah, 2/3 of that story, or sorry, a third of that story took place while I was naked. I don't know if that adds anything to it, but
it adds to the uncomfortability that I already felt.
The last banter topic. The last banter topic I proposed was zombie apocalypse Brothingtons, which was just a weird dream that I felt like writing down at one point. In my dream journal in my phone.
He wrote in my dream journal.
Have him expelled.
Expelled.
Immediate. No. So I had this dream. the dream was that there was like a zombie apocalypse happening. And it was storming and dark and eerie and scary outside. Except it was happening. I was in my house. But none of the people in my house was my house. My mom wasn't there. My old brother wasn't there. Instead, it was a bunch of random like Left 4 Dead-esque survivors from like a video game, and they were all scrambling to kill zombies and survive in my house and try to escape. Which it's not hard to escape my house. It's not big.
It's not big.
But I was there as like a shape-shifting extra survivor. That it was like they were all playing on one server and I was like admin. I could shapeshift into a different survivor and just spawn guns and like ammo around me, but I had to do it surreptitiously so they wouldn't catch on that I was helping them for some reason. So I continued to do that for like a while. I amassed like 5 or 6 survivors of different types. One of them was like Lara Croft, basically, but in a zombie apocalypse.
The Lara Croft.
Then,
yeah,
right. And then we escape, and as we escape, we go like down the street a couple of houses from my house, which is in this like suburban neighborhood, to, or not suburban, but like, you know, urban.
Suburban.
Actually, would my house qualify as suburban? It would qualify as it's suburban. But long story short, my relatively poor neighborhood. We go down the street, and like as we go down the street, my powers like waned, where I couldn't shapeshift or spawn guns anymore, and I was kind of locked into the form I chose. But we saw this house that does not exist down the street from my house in real life, but it exists in the stream, where it was this massive black like house on Haunted Hill Manor. Like this big Victorian place, and we were like, let's go there for shelter. And then it got really, really dark outside, like ambiently. We go inside, and there's this like, there's no electricity. It's all lit by like candles and lanterns. There's this family of people, this modern family of like brown/black people that's just sitting at the dining table, and they're just like sitting there very stiffly and awkwardly uncomfortably. But then the person that greets us is this big Ebenezer Scrooge, like scrawny, like evil looking, like pale guy who's like, welcome to the Brothington residence, be gone. Who doesn't say welcome, he's like, be gone, why are you here? And then
welcome,
I'm like,
be gone.
yeah, welcome, be gone.
It's like me at game night.
But, yeah,
Welcome,
exactly.
be gone.
That's what I said to Zach every morning.
Welcome, be gone.
And then I smashed him. But he said that, and I managed to pass like a persuasion check. Like I remember seeing it was like a video game. I had like a 70% chance or something to like persuade him. I did that. He let us in, but it was like only temporarily. And then all of a sudden, it became like a murder mystery of the Brothingtons. The Brothington, like there was only one Brothington. It was the old rich guy who like apparently owned the house, was renting it to this family, and I don't remember what the actual family's name was, but they called themselves the Brothingtons because they lived at the Brothingtons Manor.
Makes sense.
But this family was like, yeah, like several members of our family are missing/dead, we presume. And it didn't cross my mind once that it was because of zombie apocalypse. That wasn't a thing.
Nah.
In retrospect, it makes a lot of sense.
In retrospect, that could have been the cause, probably. But for some reason, I was like, well, obviously not that. That just means they can't go outside.
Sounds like it's just a
That's
virus.
COVID.
Yeah. So I'm like asking around, and then Mr. Brothington is very adamantly like, "You shouldn't ask around. You're being annoying. I've already extended my grace thus far. Don't make me kick you out." And I'm like, okay. And I keep asking anyway. And I'm like snooping around, investigating, trying to find clues on my own. And I remember a factor in my dream being like, I had a tremendous amount of power helping these other people out in my house by spawning guns and ammunition for them. And now that power is effectively gone because that doesn't help here, and I also don't have those powers anymore in investigating this case. And I was like, I remember I found a couple of clues. I found like a note under a chair, like a sticky note under a chair that pointed out to a VHS I put in, and it was like, a VHS of this babysitter rocking with a baby for the Brothingtons, and then it was like a very peaceful VHS and like black and white security cam footage. But then the note itself said it was from the babysitter. Oh yeah, your bunny link.
Why am I
Yeah, the Dark World, baby.
Also, this
note-
rock is bleeding.
The note itself was from the babysitter, and it was just this bitch like, I fucking hate the Brothingtons. I can't believe I have to do this shit. I hate this baby. I hate everything. But then the video footage was like her peacefully rocking this baby to sleep with like a bottle in its mouth. But then the note was basically
me in the morning.
Yes, the note was like, I fucking hate this. I want to get out of here. And I was like, okay, that's a suspect, whoever this babysitter is. And I did like a whole dialogue with one of the kids, and she was like, yeah, one of our relatives, one of our like siblings disappeared at school when Mr. Brothington showed up. It's like, okay, Mr. Brothington is also suspicious if it wasn't obvious, because he looks evil and apparently is evil and mean.
Evil.
But I remember at the end of the dream explicitly, I had like this thought that it felt like someone inserted it into my mind that wasn't me, and it felt like I had this thought where it's like, next time I have this dream, I have to use my gun powers and my mouse more carefully to gather more resources to help me solve the investigation faster. And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck?
So it's a roguelike dream where you have to like keep track of information in order to gain an advantage for the next time you try.
Adrian
Well,
over
kind
here
of.
playing Obladin.
I got this like tutorial message at the end of my dream where I was like, all right, you've done one run around. Next time you have this dream, you need to like be more proactive and use your powers more carefully. Because when I had the gun powers, all I did was just give them guns to like survive. I was like, oh, this is nice. I can help them. I feel benevolent. But then in my dream, I was like, no, you're gonna have this dream again, and next time you do have it, be more careful and like more persistent or whatever, and conscious.
Oh
And I
my
was
God.
like,
Oh my.
I've
Be more conscious when you have this dream.
I was gonna say, I told you guys the one recurring dream I had with like Zach and Cody, right?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
yes.
the burning building.
Yeah.
I haven't had a recurring dream since then, but I explicitly, at the end of that dream, said this will be another recurring dream. And I remember waking up, I was like, oh no, this is stressful.
Oh no. Not a recurring
we go
dream.
again.
But yeah, that was interesting and then stressful at the end of that.
What an experience.
Yeah.
I went from being like, oh, cool, I can kind of surreptitiously, like, kind of sneakily be like, oh, I'm just a friendly stranger. Here's a bunch of guns, luckily, guys.
Yeah.
To being
Just
like,
solve this murder.
yeah, well, there's all the multiple people like, okay, Lily's disappeared, and she disappeared on this night with this circumstance, as far as I'm aware, but don't know who did it. And it's just like, I can't shoot people to solve this problem.
And all this during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, and all this during the zombie apocalypse, and also there's Mr. Broughton, who's just Ebenezer Scrooge, but even more wicked looking.
God, that's awesome.
And I guess my question is, what do you guys think of Mr. Brothington or that whole scenario?
You gotta solve it somehow.
Yeah. It's gonna come back
You gotta
to haunt
figure
you.
out what happened.
You should give everyone a gun except Mr. Brothington. And then hunt the most dangerous
Yeah.
game.
Mr. Brothington?
Yes, Brothington.
Also, I put down Mr. Brothington, but I can't remember. It was either Mr. Brothington or Mr. Brothington. It was one of the two.
Brothington. I like Brothington.
Brothington is good because that has broth in the name.
Yeah, delicious.
Delicious broth.
Sleep me down, can't sleep me down is a topic I already covered, but still has the alert symbol on it.
Yeah, well, my bad.
That's all right.
Who don't?
But yeah, I don't really have any other new banter topics. I haven't been very banter topic inspired lately.
I had
That's amazing, Bo.
I had a dream that I could share very briefly from the other night. It was because I've described before that one of my like fantasies that I really enjoy exploring is the idea of having like a big foster's home for imaginary friends style house, and then just having a bunch of people live there. So take that notion, right? That's like the setting of the dream. But then you remember from Spirited Away when Yubaba just turned... Grant, where the fuck am I supposed to go?
I don't have been paying attention.
Everything's blocked. There's nowhere to go. Everything.
Do you have the mirror?
Yeah. What about it?
Wait. Where's the mirror? Yeah, use the mirror.
What do you mean use the mirror? Oh.
What do you mean use the mirror?
Wait, I'm back.
Yeah, use the mirror once.
No, but I hit it once.
Oh, it did send you back?
Oh, I was stuck in a wall.
Oh.
Okay.
So
right, well, that was
if
good.
you go up and to the left, you see there's like a heart piece.
Yeah.
Right there. So you can't get that, but if you use the mirror...
And turn to a bunny.
If you use the mirror...
And turn to a furry.
That mountain isn't there.
Whoa!
And there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah. So you remember from Spirit Away when Yubaba, like, she takes her coat and, like, curls it up and she turns into, like, a bird because she has, like, a giant nose?
Yeah.
So I was living in this... It wasn't my house. I was just another person who was living in that foster's home style house. But for whatever reason, I had the notion that, you know what? I should go kidnap some people today.
Whoa!
So I went onto the top balcony because my room like overlooked the entire building. So I went onto my balcony on like the 30th floor or whatever. Took my favorite like big flannel coat that I have, and then curled it up so tightly that that the color of the coat turned black, and I turned into... I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it'd be like, imagine a ninja, but a ninja from Fall Guys, where he has like a cape. I guess. Because the cape. Oh, I died. Because the cape connected to the base of my legs, so it formed like wings. And long story short, I was basically just going around the house, just fluttering around. And whenever I went to go kidnap somebody, I would like close my eyes and open them, and instead of it being them, it was a you know what matte is, like MATTE, like that texture, like color reflection.
Color.
It's like the opposite of shiny.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of shiny, but like still kind of a little shiny, I guess. Where it's just like I would blink, and they would suddenly just be a matte orb, and I would pick it up and put it into this sack that I had. And that was the entire dream, was that I just did that and I kidnapped every single person in the house, returned to my room, and then woke up.
All right, FBI, find that voice, track him down.
This is him.
This is him. Zach, the man with the sack.
Zach, the man with the sack. You're not
I remember
coming back.
in the dream, I was really impressed with myself because I did some like really cool aerial maneuvers. There was like one part where the doors were locked to get onto like the 5th floor or something like that. So I had to do this corkscrew like glide dive thing. So wait, wait, okay, so now I can just, wait. But I can't just go to the Dark World whenever I want, right?
Yeah, you can.
Can I? Because it left magic behind. It left
That's
behind like magical sparkles.
Or you can return from the Dark World No, you could still do it anytime. It's just you have to use the same portal you open, right?
Right, so that means that, at least for right now, I'm stuck in that area because I can't leave that other area.
Ooh.
I died.
I mean, if you walk... I think if you, like, walk in somewhere and then walk out, I think you're fine. It probably resets.
Let's see.
What the hell was that?
That's the old man talking.
That's Tommy.
I can't. That's Tommy, the old man. That's telling me that I can't use the mirror. I think the mirror for right now is only to get back. I don't think I can go to the Dark World whenever I want yet.
Dang.
Time.
That's okay. I am a little bit lost as to where I'm supposed to go, because I know that I'm supposed to go get the pendant, but I don't know how to get to the freaking pendant.
Get to the pendant sack.
Alright. This is wrong. I'm supposed to go down here. Alright. What's the next banter topic? Grant?
Sorry, I'm just waiting for the police to track you down before we continue.
That's not fair. Adrian was peddling guns.
I wasn't selling them for money. I was just giving them my omniscient powers.
That's why I said peddling.
Who's piddling guns?
He was piddling.
Maybe so, but
Grant, where's the final boss?
yeah.
Where is the final boss?
Who is
Banter
the final
topics.
boss?
Yeah. If you were the final boss to a video game, where would you want your boss battle to be?
I get
The
to pick.
very beginning.
You get to pick anywhere.
I was
Does it
actually.
have?
Lawrence kind of stole my answer.
At the very
does it-
beginning of the game.
Yeah,
have to
I would.
follow-
I would want the. I would want the video game to start right at the base of like this big, tall, like ominous tower. Wait, no, wait, no. I want the game to start at the outside the locked door of this giant Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends building, where the final boss has been kidnapping people.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
I want that to be it.
Can I ask? Does it have to follow the convention of the hero is able to defeat me at this point?
No. You could
Oh.
just like, this could be your lair area.
Well, then I want the final boss battle to just me showing up in the hero. Like, imagine Ocarina of Time. Link wakes up because Navi goes to wake him up. I want my final boss to be me showing up to his house seconds after Navi just like, hey, I hired an oracle.
And just kill him.
I hired an oracle, and you're like important. I already raised your village, and sorry, kid, you don't have a chance. And then I just stab him.
Sorry, you didn't have
Alright.
to.
That's one of those. That's one of those like villain logic things that never really made sense to me, because it's like for the Avatar, right? They knew that. So well, theoretically, in Last Airbender, they knew ahead of time that the hello.
Oh, hi,
Oh, wait.
Mark.
Hello, Zach.
Oh wait, never mind.
Hello.
I don't have any empty
Hello, Zach.
bottles at the moment. Wait, no, I do actually. I have exactly one empty bottle.
Wait, no, use the net, remember? Yeah.
No, I caught the
Yay,
fairy.
let's go.
Spelled like an
Finally.
asshole. Here you go.
Like an asshole.
Uh,
Like a fucking jackass.
Oh, I have a slightly relevant banter topic that's more or less just me showing off a thing I thought up.
wait, I didn't get to
Sure.
finish my Avatar thing.
Oh, right, Avatar, sorry. That first.
Well, because what I was saying was that in theory, because I know that they didn't write season 3 when they were making season 1, right? But in season 1 of Last Airbender, they said very explicitly that they can't kill Aang, because if they do, the next Avatar will be reincarnated and they'll just have to do this all over again, right? But
Right.
technically, in the canon of the show, wait, how the fuck am I supposed to get up there now? Oh, right, because I have this. In the canon of the show, they already knew about Sozin's comet. They knew that that's when they were going to try to take over the world. So if you killed Aang at literally the first moment that, what's his face? What's the name of the evil general that, like, killed the moon?
Oh, Zhao?
Yeah.
General Zhao, yeah.
Like,
Admiral
General Zhao, by all accounts, should have just immediately slaughtered him, because who the fuck would have, like, so what if the next Avatar is a 2-year-old? Like, that doesn't
Yeah,
really...
and at that point, they already conquered both sides of the Water Nation.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously the show, obviously like Last Airbender is a fantastic show and, you know, all that jazz, but it does leave a weird taste in my mouth, because I'm like, that's
Can
a
I
little
ask?
weird.
Can I ask? I'm not familiar with Avatar lore. When an Avatar is made, it has to be like born with it. It doesn't just pass on to someone who's already alive, right?
Correct. You
Okay.
I'm about to say it's like the Dalai Lama, where at the moment that you die, someone in the world who is born becomes the next Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I like, because this is just where the bridge is. Because I'm assuming that there is I'm assuming that what we're supposed to be doing is that there is a location somewhere here that when I teleport back, it allows me to like bypass some sort of obstacle that I couldn't get past previously. But there doesn't appear to be anything like that. So I'm going a little nuts.
I wanted to say
that was the villain stuff.
I wanted to say when you mentioned that fairy earlier, it reminded me of a character that I made, a villain for a D&D game that I made. His name's he doesn't have he doesn't have a name yet because I haven't fleshed him out that far. But he has a moniker called the Dusty Knife, where his whole thing is that he has a magical bottle that has the power to harness magic from captured fairies inside of it, and he uses this to fly, turn invisible, do other fairy-esque things, cause hallucinations. The bottle is an evil device because it causes excruciating pain to whoever it harnesses power from and can often kill them. And the dust from the name The Dusty Knife is him leaving pixie dust on people when he kills them and stabs them with a knife.
Oh my.
Ooh.
I felt inspired.
Antagonist.
I felt inspired because part of the thing is that the party is allied to a lot of fey creatures, includes fairies and a hag and whatever. And the Dusty Knife is notorious because he captures and tortures fey creatures. And then I had this big idea. It's like, oh, I want to make an antagonist that is enemies of the party's allies, which makes them enemies by proxy of the party. And I realized, wait, this is just Captain Hook.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
I've accidentally created. Oh.
I just made Captain Hook again.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang
Grant,
it.
Not
figured it out.
again.
Captain Hook if he succeeded and killed Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Let's go, Zach.
Peeping Pam.
Ooh.
I like this. This is neat.
Pretty epic.
Pretty cool.
What the hell is that?
That's pretty not
Me.
cool.
That's pretty not cool, bro.
By the way, Grant, did you answer your own banter topic? Like,
Where would you want your
as-
final
Oh no,
boss
I
location to be?
didn't. Probably like a parking lot.
the parking lot?
A Denny's parking lot.
Yeah, because everything goes at Denny's. They won't. Turn me
Everything
away.
goes.
What about
Everything and
say-
anything goes at Denny's.
Did Lawrence say his is a pit full of spiders?
No.
Lawrence ordered a pit full of spiders. It's coming right up.
No.
It's being delivered
No.
to your house right now.
Sorry. That's incorrect. It's a moat full of spiders.
Ah, so
not
it's
the moat.
flowing, you say. Understood.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
like the rat physics of Plague Tale, but with
Oh
spiders.
god.
it's just a moat. If you look outside your house, Lawrence, I've already installed a moat around your house filled with spiders.
I'm
Oh
gonna burn
no,
the house
Adrian!
with me in it.
Adrian, the moat wasn't up to specs. They're crawling into his windows.
No.
Damn it! I knew I shouldn't have made those easily climbable, very many handhold surfaces rocks to fill the moat of spiders with.
Lawrence, we're so sorry. There's no way we could have predicted this.
This is gonna be
There's
the
no
easiest
way.
final boss that you'll ever have.
You walk into the
His own
final boss's
minions.
room and he's just screaming his ass
Yeah.
off.
After the build up for like 20 hours of gameplay, you enter the final chamber and it's just me
Hey
screaming
Lawrence, I
like a
have a
girl.
question.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Do you know who Shelob is?
The spider from Lord of the Rings?
Right. Can you look up what Shelob looks like from Shadows
Why-
of War?
Oh.
No.
Oh yeah. is this one of your banter topics? Or one
Well-
of your concerns?
Lawrence, can you
Well-
look up Rom from Bloodborne?
Yeah,
Like
can you
Dark
look up
Souls.
Rom the vacuous spider? No reason.
Actually,
Oh,
actually,
it's
Lawrence.
disgusting.
Actually, Lawrence, can you look up Tarantula from real life?
Like,
Real life.
Hey, Lawrence, can you do me a favor and eat this daddy long legs I found?
gonna,
Like
I'm
now
gonna
we're
take off my
just we're
headphones
just
just to
bullying
chill
Lawrence. No, but Lawrence, my question
Oh, my
was what's your opinion on Shelob? Like the one from Shadows of Shadow of
Like how they transformed the spider
transform
into a
Shelob
woman.
into a hot woman? Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Grant, were you not aware of
Alright.
this?
You're not aware?
No.
All right, I guess I gotta show
Would
the
you
picture
mind?
then.
Would you mind posting the picture, Lawrence? Because it's a real fucking weird thing.
On a tangential note, while that gets readied, I want to just mention that when we talked about Lawrence screaming at his own boss fight, I was imagining just like the boss of a big bet like Ganondorf, whatever, going like, "All right, I know I gave you a lot of creative liberty with my boss room. I want to see how it turns out. Surprise!" It's like, "Well, sir, you'll be surprised to know that it's filled with lava. Lava." That kills me. I'm weak to lava. Why'd you do this?
Why would you do this?
It's incredibly dangerous. What do you? What if he pushes me into the lava? Then
This is
push
a
it back.
huge OSHA violation.
Don't worry, Sir Ganon. We gave you a very small platform that you can barely stand on. You'll be totally safe. Imagine if you can barely fit on it. How is the hero gonna fit on it?
I like to imagine
Also-
the boss just being like, "This fucking architect's gonna be the death of me."
It's the hero, but in a fake mustache. That's really good. I like the subversion of tropes here, where it's just the hero like knows he's gonna have to deal with the villain eventually, so he goes to like architect school to design his new evil lair. And it's
He's like actually competent.
It's like, hey, why did you put all these pedestals around easily accessible? Oh, that's where you're going to store your keys, sir. My what?
Well, it's like I think about it, and it's like, all right, now explain to me again why all of the dart traps in the walls are pointed directly at my throne. Explain to me one more time. I'm gonna die.
Shouldn't have put those flying tiles in there. Should have talked to your contractor.
Well, you have to understand, sir. We're unionized. It's for a magic trick, sir. Oh, that's really
That'll be
good.
great.
Yeah, excellent.
Don't excuse
Also,
me.
why is
don't
she
worry.
a lady?
Shit. Yeah.
Don't
So
worry.
they turned Shelob into a lady to increase sales.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Why?
Did it work? Did anyone care about Shelob?
Well, a lot of people cared about Shelob. There was it was definitely no Lady D, but there was a hot moment where people were getting super horny over fucking femme Shelob. Actually, I guess you could just say
She's
Shelob.
uncomfortable looking.
You don't have to say you
I
don't have to
guess,
say
yeah.
femme Shelob. You can say Shelob.
You could say Shelob.
Shishi.
Shelob.
Shishi is, I don't know if it applies to English, but I know it's Vietnamese slang for piss.
I was about to say it's
Oh.
also Japanese slang.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about. I feel very conflicted because clearly
Like she
that's
is still a spider. Like in the game, she turns back into the spider
right.
form
Yeah,
during
but
the fight.
like we didn't even know she transformed into a woman in the books.
Well, because she
It
didn't.
was just-
Like if fucking
right.
if fucking Tolkien was still alive, he'd be fucking pissed. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
He'd
Turns
be
into a woman. It's
rolling
a
in his
spider.
grave.
Yeah.
He'd buy a grave for himself and then roll over in it.
True. There you go.
Well, yeah, but like I feel conflicted because that's not supposed to happen in lore. But at the same time,
It's a hot lady.
man, I'm like, well,
It isn't a
more
spider.
importantly, it's not a spider.
But it's supposed to be a spider.
But
Yeah.
it's not.
How
But
do
it
you?
makes me
How,
less-
hey Lawrence, how do you feel about Rachni from Monster Musume?
From the name alone, I assume that's the Spider Girl.
It is. Wait, you know what? Give me a second. I'll save Lawrence the internet search. I'll do it for him. I want your opinion.
Hey,
Oh,
Lawrence, what do you
no.
think about every single spider from Garfield?
What?
From Garfield.
Garfield?
Yeah,
Garfield.
Garfield talks with spiders and then hates them and smacks them with a newspaper real good.
I think Garfield's my kind of cat.
All right. So Lawrence, I want you to take a look at this character's design.
All right, hold on. Let me minimize
boy.
Discord just so I can prepare myself to freak out. No, that's Shelob. Oh, what the fuck?
So if you actually like look closely at her design, it's actually just like a woman who's just like sitting, and it just so happens that she has an entire spider thorax coming out of her butt. Because like her front legs are just where her legs would be.
Yeah, I kind of see where her legs are crossed.
Oh, I don't like that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
weird,
like,
right?
I don't like Garfield
Weird.
either. Garfield shouldn't be able to wield newspapers either.
Adrian.
Exactly. Garfield should be taken before the Geneva Convention.
That blasted cat and his confounded two-legged walk.
It's confounded.
All right, Lawrence, but how do you feel?
How does it make you feel?
How do you feel about Spider-Man?
Lawrence becomes J. Jonah Jameson.
He's a menace.
He's a criminal! A menace!
That'd be great.
Lawrence
How
is
dare
cast as
he.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. But over anger over spiders rather than Spider-Man.
Just spiders in general.
Nice.
A menace to society.
Hey Lawrence, what do you think of
Do not
Marvel's
get me
Man?
pictures of Spider!
What do you think of Marvel's Man Spider?
I like do not get me pictures of Spider. It's really funny.
Yeah, but what are you saying?
Oh, I was
the
just
fuck?
gonna say, what do you think of Marvel's Man
Oh.
Spider?
Man Spider.
Oh,
Oh, dude,
Man
I
Spider.
like Man Spider. Is that the one? Is that the one where it's like 10,000 spiders that all are psychically linked and think that they're a human being, so they cooperate in the form of Spider-Man?
fuck.
No, I don't think so.
Not quite, although that is one of them. Actually, no, I think there's multiple Man Spiders, and that might be one of them. But there is also a Man Spider that just has 6 arms and 2 legs and spider head.
Yeah, it's like a spider face. Yeah.
Unrelated to that, what do you think of these Garfield spiders?
Oh my god! That's like some fucking
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
John stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John.
Oh god, remember Garfield Core?
No?
Or- that was briefly a thing where there was an entire burst of horror-related Garfield stuff.
Yeah, I
thought
was
it
say
was
it's still
Employee
around.
John.
It's called I'm sorry, John.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was Garfield Core was the name.
Well, that's
but I might be mistaken.
the subreddit r/I'm
Oh.
sorry, John.
I mean,
Fair
that's
enough
what,
then.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I like this dungeon. This dungeon's neat.
let's stop talking about spiders. I feel sad for Lawrence.
Thank you.
But it's not. But listen, like I like both of the ones that I asked Lawrence to address were like hot spider women for the explicit purpose of trying to gauge what Lawrence considers to be a spider. Because
I mean-
Shelob is conceptually still a spider. It just looks like a woman. And Lawrence was like, oh, that's fine. So I was like, okay, well, let me take it one step back. Let me just take a woman and staple her to the ass of a spider. How about that? Does that count?
In the
Makes me
furry
uncomfortable
community,
with
that is
people
that would be called a spider tar.
Spider tar.
I don't like Spider Tor. Spider Tor is mean.
What's wrong? Well, actually, it'd be called a drider because there's a precedent for that. But
Shut up.
broadly, if you wanted to be more general, you'd use tar at the end of it, because human torso and then bottom half animal.
I mean, I guess.
Saba says, "Oh wait, Harry Potter." I mean, sure, Harry Potter, but that's just a spider, Saba.
It's just a spider.
Spider.
Oh, this
is
doesn't
what-
work.
I forgot if it was with you guys or if it was with
It was
Bobby,
with us. I
because-
know.
like during the scene with the spiders in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
because I was
okay.
holding out.
I didn't
for
know if
that.
everyone was there or if no one was there. Because again,
I remember
went through the
Bobby and I were
entire series.
there.
Yeah, I was super not comfortable with that.
Yeah. Because we were like, oh, Lawrence.
Yeah. And I thought it would be like a real quick scene, like, oh, I'll scare you with a spider.
No.
Nah, it's just a full-on, like, half an hour segment of just spiders.
Half an hour.
I'm
It's
over
a quarter
here,
of the movie.
It's a quarter of the movie, and I'm here just like sweating my ass off, just like, oh god, no.
Is that the boss? Wait, can I fight
Yeah,
him?
I think so.
Yo, I can just fight him.
Beat his
Oh, no.
eyes.
Is he gonna knock
Big
me
ol'
off?
eyes.
I think he's gonna knock me off.
He can, yeah.
I wanna hit the pinwheel that's like attached to him, I think. Lawrence forgets oh, I fell.
See?
Oh shit, dude. Okay. Wait, so what happens if what did this do? Did this do anything? 'Cause sure, it does that, but does that prevent me? Oh, I can still go up. Here, let me do I have a potion?
You have a cure-all medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, that was magic and that. Neat.
Adderall.
Adderall? Is that what you said?
The cure-all.
Cure-all.
You said it. Yeah, Link just takes Adderall.
Do you guys remember that time where I tricked everybody into watching a woman deglove her own hand?
Oh my god.
And we never
Was that
forgive you
called
for
a
it.
girls' game or something?
Gerald's
Gerald's
game.
game.
Yeah.
Gerald's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good movie right up until the part where the skin of her
It
hand
wasn't a good
separated.
movie. I didn't like it.
It was an interesting movie.
It was weird.
Oh, hey guys, let me just use the bathroom real quick. Just
Hey,
keep
let me
watching.
just use this bathroom.
It was if I remember correctly, I think that's a Stephen King story.
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
Because it's just the idea of like, oh, what if this shit? What if this older couple was trying to like freshen up their relationship and the guy just has a fucking heart attack?
With the girl still handcuffed
To the bed in the middle of the forest where no one's gonna like come back for 2 weeks. It's like, oh shit.
And then a dog eats his body, comes in and
Starts
starts
eating his body
Oh,
and starts
yeah.
attacking her.
Yeah,
So-
and then there's a dude that just shows up.
right, a dude that shows up. He's really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget
He's really
that.
scary, but she's like, "You're not real," and he's like, "Shit, I guess I'm not."
And
then he just
disappears.
leaves.
But then
And
he was real.
Well, and that's the thing. And then I remember in the epilogue of the movie, like 5 years later or whatever, she's like looking through newspaper clippings. She finds one of that guy having gotten arrested for like murdering women.
Yeah, and then she like testifies against it or something, against him or something.
Oh god, that's so weird. Wow, this boss fight's a lot harder than the one that I'm used to.
Oh no.
I'll be honest, I registered that you were talking about some horrific shit, and I totally clocked out during that.
That's totally fine. We'll watch
fine.
Gerald's game on stream.
No.
Oh my god.
Now let me ask you, Zach. Like I said, I tuned out. Will that get you demonetized?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like within the first 10 minutes.
You just got affiliated, Zach.
Right, so
Within
this is the
first 10
perfect
minutes
time to
before the
commit
guy
career
even
suicide.
dies.
I feel
Oh
like
my God.
I feel like I'm under equipped for this battle. Like there's maybe something that I should be doing before this.
You could have gotten the master.
No, I couldn't. I don't have the pendant.
No, it showed up on your map.
Right,
Use
the
the
guy
gun.
but the guy said
Use
to
a
the guy said I needed all 3 pendants before I could get the master sword.
Oh, never mind.
Moral of the story: handcuffs don't freshen things up.
I mean they
You should never
can.
use things.
They can, just make sure you ask your doctor whether or not your heart is healthy
Just
enough for
make-
sex.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're not whole.
Ask your
Exactly.
doctor whether handcuffs are right for you and your partner.
If
Yeah.
you are old enough to have to ask your doctor whether or not your heart is healthy enough for sex, it's not healthy enough for sex. Like that's,
Doctor,
if you have to ask the question, if you feel obligated to ask, that means it's not.
I'm just imagining prescription handcuffs.
Prescription handcuffs.
Oh, yeah.
my
something,
God.
something mesothelioma.
I thought I was so smart for a second.
Outwitted.
Outwitted by gravity.
Wait, isn't that not just going to be the same thing again?
Well, I came in from the bottom. I'm gonna try from the top.
Oh, right, because you took. Okay, so you're taking it there again. So that should be fine, probably.
It should be fine.
Nope.
Limit.
Ah,
Oh wait, no, it is.
The
I
whole
got
stream
this.
turns
I got
into
the
an
blue pearl.
infomercial.
From changing effects of the golden power.
Okay,
The
so that's
power.
that. So the boss has the pendant. So that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the boss.
Wow, I totally could have just not picked that up then, I guess. I mean, obviously I would need it, because I'm obviously going to need to do stuff in the Dark World, but... That's really interesting.
Yeah, so you won't be a rabbit.
A wabbit.
A wascally wabbit.
Alright,
Wabbit
so how
season.
to beat this boss. What if I shoot him with a bunch of arrows? 'Cause we have technology, you know?
We have
We
technology.
have technology.
What you're doing is right.
I know,
supposed
but
to
it's
hit
just
him
he's very fast.
Yeah, that's why the arrows, you gotta be careful. Oh.
It doesn't hit him. I'm trying to aim for his tail, and it's not working.
You just have to swipe at him.
Yeah,
Right,
just
but
roll
then
up
I
a
die.
newspaper
He
and start
hurts
swinging.
Don't.
me.
Then don't. Just play a game better, forehead. Quote from Zach.
What do you mean? Quote from Zach. I have never said that.
like 2 weeks
Sun Tzu,
ago.
The Art of War.
Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Get good.
Play better.
Play better.
This is hard. What? Are you shitting me? What the hell was that?
Oh, hey, you found a heart.
I'm gonna break every pot in this fucking building to look for more, apparently.
Get fucked.
That's so funny. Alright, next banter topic. Moving on.
Moving on. Where are we?
Where are we?
Mirrors?
I posted that a long time ago because I had something very poignant to say and I totally forgot what it was and I haven't remembered since then.
You need to be
Damn.
more descriptive with your entries to
Oh.
banter ideas.
I have been since then.
Since then.
I want to propose one of mine.
me?
If it, yeah.
I knew that was a joke there and I specifically was like, nah, I'm not gonna stoop that low.
What's your favorite garden
Oh my
hose
God.
setting? I remember this. I've
What
been
is
wanting to
it?
talk about this for a long time.
Oh no.
All right, fellas.
My favorite garden hose setting is shower, but from a long distance. So it's like mist,
Sure.
but more significant.
Shower.
You know-
long distance.
You know, this may be unpopular, but I do have quite fond memories of Mist.
Mist is good.
Mist is
It's
good.
not practical, I don't think, but Mist
It's not.
is good.
Well, it's practical if you have extremely delicate plants.
True.
True.
If you have tiny like plants, tiny baby plants.
Or if you're running an amusement park.
True. You could have a
Yeah.
mister.
Yeah,
And then
I
a
am
Well, I mean, I don't know
also-
why you need to get married, but yeah.
You could.
Yeah, I am also a shower man because I usually have plants in my front yard and I water them with shower.
I mean, I just don't have a
That's
bathtub.
fair. I've noticed that the consensus there seems to be a lot of shower lovers.
No
Yeah.
one likes
If I don't-
Jet. Jet is
My dad said Jet.
I
no,
was about to say, if I
no.
wasn't gonna
Your
do shower,
dad
Jet
is your
in
dad is a
second
war
place.
criminal in waiting.
And I was like, why? He's like, because I'm thinking about spraying stuff off, like getting it
Yeah.
off the concrete.
Oh, but that's a power washer.
Yeah, but you
But
can't
what if you
afford
don't have a power
washer.
washer?
Well, then stop spraying stuff off the concrete.
Just
What,
simply
are
stop
you
using
gonna
that.
mow? Are you gonna mow your lawn with a pair of fucking with a pair of scissors? Get a
Yeah,
lawnmower.
Jet is for spiders.
Jet is for spiders. That's true. Oh, that's really good. I like Jet is for spiders.
Oh,
So yeah, he was like, I'm thinking about cleaning stuff or spraying something off the concrete, and I'm like,
The only context
Fair.
that I've ever seen Jet used was like during a like garden hose fights or whatever. That one kid would always break the rule and he would set his hose to Jet and just shoot someone in the ear to like try to rupture their eardrum.
oh my god.
Christ, who did you play with? Fucking Gordon
That was
Evil?
that was at Camp Massapog, and we'd have water week where the entire week was dead. It was usually the hottest day of the hottest week of the summer, and it was straight up just every day there was different like water related activities and whatnot. And my favorite one was the garden hose wars, where it was most people just had the regular garden hose where you had to use your thumb to pressurize, but then anyway, but then some kids would get the prestigious awards from like earlier that week, and they would get the head. But yeah, I don't know. There was one guy.
Crazy.
Oh, sorry. Grant, I meant to send you a clip that I saw that was really funny. It was
Of someone getting head?
No, it was from the Super Beast cast or whatever, the Castle Super Beast podcast, and it was just Castle Super Beast out of context. And the very last one is Pat screaming full bore into the mic, and we were fucking children.
Oh my god!
Because the context of the conversation is obviously not that bad, but just cutting it out of context sounds so terrible.
Awful. I was about to ask what a garden hose war was, but then I was like, I feel like I could use context clues for this, Grant.
Well, I mean, the garden hose war was really fun because for the most part, it was just, spraying people with water, and it was a lot of fun. It was apparently it was very expensive for the camp too, because it was just because it was just so much water. Oh, god damn it. Do I respawn in the? I hope I respawn here. I do. Great. But yeah, I don't know. There was a little objective. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of we had 15 minutes to just, use the water as much as we wanted. Don't I have to go up? Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. You could use the hoses for as much as you wanted for like 15 minutes, but at the end of the 15 minutes, whichever team was holding this one kickball got to go on to like the next round or something like that. Like it was some like really nonsense, like esoteric whatever. But it was still really fun.
That's neat.
Yeah. The only part of Water Week that I didn't really like was that because I went to Camp Massapog for like 5 years in a row, and every year there was one day where it was swim races, and I actually used to be a really good swimmer. So I would always be like one of the contestants, but every single time I went swimming in the lake, I would get a horrific ear infection.
Oh.
And so like by the third year, I obviously identified like, yeah, whenever I go swimming in the lake, I get injured very much. So I would like to not do that, please. And I remember like on the fourth and fifth.
No, Zach.
Dude, it only gives me 3 hearts to start. Never mind. It gives me 5. I'm just bad. It gives me 5. I'm just bad. But yeah, on the 4th and 5th years, one of the counselors, Fred, convinced me to participate again because he's like, "We need you, Zach. We're gonna lose otherwise." And it was like, okay. And then, like a week later, my ear was 4 times its original size and leaking fluid. And he was like, "Wow,
God.
You weren't joking, were you?" And I was like, "No, I wasn't."
Why would you joke about
Jesus Christ?
Well, because like I was one of those kids where, despite loving Camp Massapog and like having a great time while I was there, I never wanted to participate in anything. Like, I never wanted to go into the woods. I never wanted to get dirty. I was always so concerned about going into the cabins and stuff because the cabins had fucking gay lover. The cabins had fucking black widows in them.
Fuck that.
Like, I remember because like that was one of the things, like, because there were CITs, counselors in training, and one of the reoccurring stories that they would always tell was the the black widow in the cabin story. But then we go to Mantown, which was for the older boys. It was like this one area down in like a valley kind of little area. It was like a small like downhill section, and those cabins were never kept up, which is why they were given to the man. And I remember the first time, and it was like my job to like clean it that week. And I go in, and there was just a black fucking widow just sitting on the outside of one of the screen windows. And I was like, yeah, I'm just never gonna come here ever again. Goodbye.
Lawrence, I have an idea for if you go for when we meet up again in real life.
No.
Lawrence, don't you want to go to camp and hang out with us at camp?
Not with the Black
Cam.
Widows.
Well, wait. If,
Just
but
a
if we were
couple
gonna
of
go to camp,
year-olds.
if we were gonna go to Camp Massapog, you guys would have to come to Massachusetts, and I don't even live in Massachusetts anymore.
And
Good point.
listen, if
We'll create our own camp.
if we can't
We'll
bring
create our own
ourselves
camp.
to if we can't bring ourselves there, we'll just bring the camp to us, and I'll just sneak a bunch of Black Widows to Lawrence's house.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Make it a genuine.
No,
experience.
Lawrence. No,
So
Lawrence. You
fucked
don't
up.
understand. He just means he's gonna bring multiple clones of Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
No,
I'm
yeah.
in order to make it authentic, I'm gonna smash up Lawrence's house and make it look like it's in a state of disrepair.
Oh my god.
Did I ever? I'm sure I've told it already because I tell the same stories all the time. But did I ever tell the story of Pinecone Wars?
Yes.
I like Pinecone Wars is one of my favorite memories of all time, just because there was so much prep that went into it. Like for over a week, we were all just gathering every single pine cone we saw and chucking it into the one cabin that no one ever went in. And it was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Nothing bad could possibly happen with this.
Little did
And-
you know, the next day, all of them sprouted into full trees.
Not in the cabin, but I'm trying to think because it's like I'm trying to like give you like a size comparison to how big the cabins were. So imagine how tall I am, right? Not super tall, like let's say 5'8", right? So imagine 4 of me laying head to toe, and then make that a square, right? That's how big the cabins were. And by the end of that week,
Okay.
where we were getting ready for the Pinecone Wars, I want to say we had a cabin that was full up to like the middle of my shin with just pine cones.
Oh my god.
It was awesome.
Pine
It was so cool.
And then it turned into a tree.
A super tree. Dude, come on!
Oh my.
Video game! Anyway.
Game.
All right.
Next banter topic.
Banter topic.
What's the deal with airplane food?
You
It's
know,
not
yeah,
food,
you
and
know-
it's not an airplane.
It's not food. Well, it is food.
No.
Well,
Snack your horse shit by Badger Top.
Do you know that we actually have an answer to that question now, by the way?
I am
What's the deal
aware,
with
yes.
food? It's
Yeah.
Imodium?
What?
Yeah. What?
No, what'd you say? Matt?
Amogus.
They laced it with Imodium?
Well, I
They
don't
got
know about
aluminum
that.
in
So it's so everyone's constipated and they don't take a shit at the same time.
Oh, that's interesting. I would never would have guessed that. But like my understanding as to why airplane food tastes like worse than normal food was because at high altitudes your taste buds are effectively reduced by 60% effectiveness.
Right, because of the air pressure.
Yeah, so you just straight up don't taste 60% of the food, and most people don't know that, so they just go like, "Oh, it's bad."
It's why they have to rely on
Because of the peer
textures.
Yeah. Or foods that have different taste bud receptors than normal, such as pretzels and stuff, because they're salty.
so are you telling me if you just randomly hand me airplane food without telling me?
It's gonna
I could
taste
eat-
normal. It's gonna taste, well, by normal I mean like it's gonna taste like it came out of a microwave, but still, it'll taste like normal food.
I remember watching this biography thing about a guy who lost his sense of taste. And he just got really sick and then got metal mouth, and then he just does not have the sensation of taste anymore, which is really interesting. And so he goes, normally, that people would think, oh, that's nice because,
Would you
I
normally
don't
think that
crave
that's
any
nice?
sweets. Because you don't crave sweets, and so you won't get heavier, blah, blah, blah.
Well, would you
he
wait,
goes-
hold up real quick before you continue. Would you not crave sweets anymore? Wouldn't you still crave sweets but just not taste them?
I don't know.
Because like your brain didn't get fucked up. It was just your taste, right?
I don't know.
Anyway, please continue.
But basically he was like, yeah, it's fucking awful, where he's like, the only thing I eat is basically salads and rice, something that's very easy to get down immediately, and I spend like no time at all chewing. Because he's like, chewing is such a weird sensation. Imagine chewing bubble gum that has lost all its flavor like 5 hours ago. It's like that. And he goes, but the thing I can still taste is spice, because spice is not a flavor, it's just pain.
Right, because capsaicin is supposed to be a bad thing.
Yeah, and so he's like, yeah, I'll put, like, he's like, people will look at me weird when I'm putting, like, you know, mustard or, like, hot fucking sauce on my cereal.
Is mustard spicy?
Can be.
Yeah, spicy mustard.
Spicy
Oh,
mustard.
well, yeah, spicy mustard, okay.
But on a
I like,
cereal,
I like
they have
hot
an
sauce. I
entire-
like hot sauce on my cereal, though. That's funny.
They do have an entire chemical weapon based on it.
Mustard gas.
mustard gas.
Mustard gas! Oh, God, that's true.
So
I died again, by the way.
It was interesting. We noticed. We believe in you, though. So yeah, it was just kind of interesting.
Insane, though.
Yeah, where he's like, I don't get any joy out of, like, you know, a steak where it's something you chew and it really brings out the flavors. It's like, he's like, no, it's awful.
Saba
Oh, no.
says she would get chocolate depression.
That's fair.
That's
Chocolate
totally
depression sounds like a JoJo stand.
Well, there's already a JoJo
Chocolate.
stand called Chocolate Disco, so that's pretty close.
fine. Chocolate depression.
I switched
Anyways.
from. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh no, go on. I was just gonna say next banter topic, so continue,
Oh,
please.
I was gonna say. I switched completely from Chrome to Firefox recently, as in like 2 days ago.
I should do
Hey,
that.
congratulations.
This was motivated because apparently I, as a fool, saw Chrome had a little thing up top right, and I was like, oh, it's got an update. I'll update that because I've been trying to keep my things updated because last time I didn't do that, it crashed my old laptop. So I've been trying to keep things updated as soon as they come up. So I updated it. I was going to veg out some YouTube, and then uBlock Origin stopped working. And I was like, great, Firefox time, and now it works again. So
Firefox time.
I spent like
I've been
20 minutes. It
using-
was actually faster than I thought it'd be.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I've been using a combination of Firefox and Opera, and it's actually kind of nice.
Nice. Here,
Yeah,
Opera's
because I
pretty
remember you
swell.
went through a journey to
I did,
find.
yeah. Oh yeah, I talked about it.
Yeah, you talked about the first ad that ever actually worked or whatever.
Yeah, that
Right.
sold me on something, and it was Opera.
Have you guys fuck, what was I gonna say? I just had it in my head. Oh, did you guys hear that I guess Grant would be the one that cares, but that Hikaru Utada came out as non-binary recently?
Is that
nice.
the one who signed their name as Miss whatever, but it was MYS, short for mystery?
I don't think so.
I
That's the
have
one who
no
sung Kingdom
idea.
Hearts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to double check.
Passion.
You know what?
Speaking of,
Give me-
Grant,
give me a
you
quick
wanna-
second. I went on Twitter.
Grant, you said this a long, long time ago. You want to talk about Union Cross?
Okay, so
No. No.
Adrian.
You wanted
Have-
banter
have-
topics.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Why can't people just be on my
I talked
side?
to Zach briefly about it, but I did not watch the entire thing because it's a 40-minute video, and I was like,
Me
I
neither.
don't have the mental wherewithal. But did you see that Union Cross got an ending?
I did. I'm aware of two of the major things about it.
Okay, so you're aware of the Nording?
Yes. The mass Nordening.
You are Xehanort.
If you are level 1 Arxeanort, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Call 1-800 Court.
Nord Court.
That's what it's called in Cage 3. They call it Nort Court. Fandom wise.
Court.
They have all the Xehanorts meet up and they call it Nort Court, and it's the big final ending part of the game.
That's really good. Also, has the game froze for everyone else?
I
or
I
is that
paused
just
it.
me?
Next-
I'm
next
looking.
tab
I'm
down.
looking for the thing that I said that I.
Did
You're
you-
looking to get Norded. I know, Zach. Let's just play
Grant-
Reunion Cross. Let's play through the entire thing.
Did you hear the other thing about the Dream Eaters?
Yes, about how they're like people or some shit.
So everyone in the game has like a. So this is my understanding, and this may be incorrect, but my understanding is that I never played Union Cross as well. My understanding is that everyone in Union Cross had to Chirithy as like a tutorial Navi friend companion throughout the game.
Yeah, 'cause they were in Dream Drop Distance when they were introduced.
Right. Well, everyone had a Chirithy, which is a little doll thing that's kind of like a Moogle, but not quite.
Okay.
Everyone in Union Cross has a Chirithy, but then at the end of Union Cross, my understanding is that all of them turned into individual Dream Eaters, and those are the same ones that Sora finds in Dream Drop Distance.
Oh.
So whenever you release a Dream Eater or they die in Dream Drop, that's another remnant of the past.
Man. I really like Dream Drop Distance. It's fun.
It had Sora dabbing before dabbing was popularized.
You're goddamn straight.
It's
No, he's
true.
not.
Break time. Sora's not. This is true.
Sora isn't.
Sora's
You have to
bot
show
on a
that
good
picture of
day.
him dabbing, though. I'm gonna have to see that as evidence.
It's a real thing. He has a move called Break Time where he spins around and strikes a random pose at a 3, and one of them is just him dabbing, and this was popular like 2 years before. This came out 2 years before dabbing was even a thing.
All right, Sora.
That's how good
Dab.
Kingdom Hearts is.
Oh my God.
It's straight up
Hold
a
on,
dab.
let me. I need a confirmation if this is it.
I'm upset that no one reacted to my Goro Burjima. Dude, that's a dab.
I love Goro Burjima.
What the fuck?
I know! It came out 2 years before dabbing even was a thing.
What the fuck?
Oh, you know, I'm seeing the Goro Burjima.
Goro Burjima.
Chan! Bonk.
Idiot-chan.
Bonk. Yeah, that's a.
I want that theme to play every time I look into a camera. Just it's so good. Stop! This thing is the most powerful enemy I have encountered ever.
So I just want to mention, dabbing became popularized in about 2015 of August. Dream Drop Distance came out in 2012, 3 years
Oh my
prior.
God.
Years.
Sora's
Let's
prophetic.
go.
And it's not
Absolutely.
even
Isn't
just
that
like
part of the
a
narrative?
Oh yes. It's like
Sora.
Sora's not even doing like a small dab. He's
not
hitting
even
the
doing
fattest
full on.
dab.
He's not even Hillary Clintoning.
He's not even.
He's not,
He's not
gonna
even Pokemon
go
going
to the
polls.
Correct.
We were
But
both chomping at the
Goodbye,
bit there.
Zach.
I will say, Dream Drop was not for me because it made me too.
Hello, Grant. I
It
see
made me
you've
too
also
motion
made it to the
sick.
bottom of the barrel with me. It's nice to see you here again.
The bottom of the
It's
barrel
always a pleasure.
is like a good name for a dive bar.
Bottom of the barrel.
Bottom of the barrel.
Sure, I agree.
I'm gonna use that.
What were
in the
you
game
saying
now.
about Dream Drop Distance, Adrian? I'm sorry.
It made me too motion sick to play. I could not play it.
That's fair.
It has. I watched an entire video on the motion of it, and it was like, yeah, it's got all this cool movement that also makes all of the level design useless because you can just wall jump infinitely.
You can wall jump infinitely. You can glide. You could just fucking go.
Like imagine, like Zach, you're a game designer.
I am. It's true. Isn't Grant
picture
also
that
a game
You're
designer?
gamer.
Right, but Grant already knows this game, and I assume that you don't very well.
I actually know quite a bit about Kingdom Hearts. I have
Right,
to
but you
research.
can
I have
research
to
as well.
research my enemy to slaughter it one day.
Do you know about the minutia of gameplay that is Dream Drop Distance and what
I'm
sets it apart from the
familiar
others?
with. I guess
Know
there was
your
some
enemy.
system that they had at some point where like you used your key to like zoop around like walls and you like skated off of ceilings and railings and stuff. It looked fucking cool.
Not in, that's close. You don't really use your key. You use the power of the fact that you're in a dream to do all sorts of weird dream shit. It's close though. But that
Life
is the
could
premise.
be a
Yes, where
dream.
you have extreme ability from the very start of the game, where you have the ability to use any wall jump off the wall, but you jump high enough that you can then mid-jump curve back and jump off that same wall again.
Oh,
and
so it's a
effectively get
ninja
infinite-
wall jump. Okay.
You can effectively get infinite height off any wall.
Okay.
I like
And you
the
also-
silent save
Sorry.
state.
You
The
also have the
silent
ability. You also have the ability to glide as well as move very quickly along railings and spin along poles and like jump them. But just
You
the
can spin your enemies.
literally just the wall thing alone pretty much invalidated all of the level design in the game.
So that seems interesting, right? Because it's like it's not really an official term, but I mean obviously it's pretty self-evident because even when we were doing the GMTK stuff, Grant and Saba heard me reference it multiple times, but ninja jumping is ninja wall jumping is exactly what you just described. It's a wall jump that essentially just makes it a wall climb. Like you might as well just make it a climb effectively.
Right.
And that's not inherently a bad thing, but as you describe, like only if the level design is specifically, is specifically oriented to. I don't want it to. This game fucking sucks. This game's bad. How did anyone play this game? Fucking Zelda should have died with Link to the Past. Fuck you.
As a friend once told me, get good forehead.
Who told you that?
Are you sure? Are you sure
Zach.
that you didn't just tell it to Zach earlier?
I was quoting Zach, and I'm quoting Zach once again.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't know where
I'm
it
pretty
came
sure
from,
I
Zach.
said that in reference to like making fun of people who say that.
Yeah. No. Because you were like, what can't be fixed by just getting better?
I do actually remember that. Because theoretically that is the ultimate solution to every problem in video games. It's just if the player is good enough, it's fine.
Yeah.
What do you guys,
Hey!
Fucking nut! Oh, my
what do you guys
Jesus
think of this
Christ.
flag? I like this flag.
Sound.
The brown represents shit, white represents cum, and red represents sus imposter. That was the pendant. I got the pendant.
You got the pendant.
So now I have to go back to so that way he can tell me how to get through. Thank you, Lawrence, for the entry in chat, so it's not just
Hey.
Saba.
You have to come
You gotta
back to
hit it with the
sriracha
palm.
sauce.
Sriracha sauce.
No, sriracha sauce was the sword from Ace Attorney. Forgot about that, didn't you?
I did. I didn't think I would do it again.
Did you?
Alright, how the fuck? Wait, can I just die? Can I just kill myself? Can I
have
kill
you guys-
myself
You're
for
full hell.
time on the clock?
I
You're full hell.
just peeped a really bad Twitter clip. Never mind. I'm not going to share it
You-chan! Oh.
aloud. I'll share it quietly, and you guys can look at it and react if you wish. But
All
Oh
right.
boy.
I don't want to describe it on stream, or else Zach might get demonetized.
I can't.
Uh-oh.
I can't. I'm not gonna look at it then.
Time to watch it.
Time to watch this.
Time to watch it. Time to watch it. Time to eat shit.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Let's just not. Let's just acknowledge it and just bask in its. We don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
Good night, Saba.
Well,
Good night, Saba.
Or should talk about it rising.
Next banter topic.
Good idea.
Next bit.
Fucking. Where are we? Which is more valid, optimism or pessimism?
I actually have something else that I wanted to talk about because I just thought about it.
All right, then why
All right.
why did you suggest a banter topic?
Because you inspired me to remember something better. And besides, isn't that mine?
that is yours.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to shortstop my own banter topic with a different banter topic. So Pat from former Super Best Friends fame got into a Twitter argument with the former director of God of War 1 and 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the guy, he doesn't work in the game industry anymore, and he's trying, and he's been like for the past like 4 or 5 years trying to make his own like podcasting network, and he essentially wants it to be like the quintessential podcasting network, and or for video games, and it's like, okay, I kind of get it, but long story short, Cliff Bleszinski, who is kind of infamous within certain circles at this point for being kind of a hack. He was the guy that made, well, he didn't do it, but he was the director of the team that made Quake, I think. I think it was Quake. Or no, I think it was Gears of War, actually. And he's been, like, coasting off that success for, like, his entire career. Almost everything that he's made after that has either broken even or been a huge flop. Which is, you know, quite bad. But, he got a new studio right after his last studio got closed down, and they just announced that they have like a new... Oh, I can't save these people? I wanted to save them because they're like gross ball and goblin. Also, I like... Why does the ball have a black outline, but this guy has like a gray outline? You see that?
You're really gonna ask people about their outlines, Zach? That's pretty messed
Maybe
up.
the ball is a reused sprite from something else.
Maybe, that'd be interesting. Anyway, sorry. So to finally to finish my thought, the guy, his name was fucking something. I can't remember exactly what his name was. I'll look it up later and post it so you guys can see it if you want. But
Big Bang Theory.
He was not young Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Man.
Young Money?
Not Young Money. Essentially, essentially, the argument started. The argument started with Pat saying, like, responding to the news story of Cliff Bleszinski's new studio by saying, "I hope." Pat said, "I hope everybody at that studio has some sort of backup plan for when this studio crashes and burns, and all the employees are forced to like foot the bill." Which, to be fair, kind of insensitive, but not wrong, because Cliff Bleszinski has done that 3 times so far. So, you know, there's that. So anyway, this other guy, the guy who directed God of War 1 and 2, he responds being like, wow, you're so cruel. Why would you say this about someone who's trying to, like, follow their dream, yada yada. They get into an argument, and that guy, that guy who, once again, directed God of War 1 and 2, he then starts going to bat for crunch in the games industry, saying if somebody can't handle 90-hour weeks, they don't deserve to work in the industry.
Oh, no.
And it was really weird because it's like, hey, this guy made God of War 1 and 2. Like, or not he did, he directed it. But, like, still, like, so it's like, I can only imagine how his team, like, suffered through that. And it's like...
crunch time.
God.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, not only would it have been crunch, not only would it have been crunch, but it would have been like mandatory crunch because this guy sees it as a necessity. Like, if you're not crunching, you're not working hard enough. And it's like, really?
Fuck you.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, as, you know, individuals who want to get into the industry, we don't like the idea of crunch. But he responded to that notion of like, you only dislike crunch because you're lazy. And I'm like, who are you? Like, what 40-year-old
Crunch puts people in the fucking hospital? Like,
what kind of 40-year-old boomer are you saying like, oh, because I don't want to kill myself for God of War 2 means that I'm lazy?
God.
Yeah, that's a terrible argument to make.
How the fuck do I leave?
Yeah.
That being said, any argument to make crunch look good is usually not a good argument.
Like,
I can't stop
there
thinking
were
about
some
crunchitizing.
There were some people who were trying to come to this guy's defense, being like, "Well, listen, there's a difference, right?" Like they were trying to, was it called something devil? Argue for the devil's advocate. They wanted to play devil's advocate. Thank you. And they were saying stuff along the lines of like, listen, working hard isn't bad, but working to the point of losing your health is bad. And he responds to that with, if you're losing your health by working too hard, you don't deserve to be working here.
Oh my
Well,
fucking god.
Like as if you're supposed to be a superhuman to like make video games.
Oh my god.
And it's like, what the hell? I'm just gonna kill myself, dude.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
kill
that's what
me.
those crunch people are doing too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now I'm just thinking of that one post where it's like, they call me Captain Crunch because I give the worst blowjobs on the planet.
God damn it.
Oh
my god.
I remember seeing it's nice to see a shift in like at least public view now that crunch is more well known, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
It only took a decade
and
of
even-
people constantly saying, like,
people
hey, this
fucking
is bad.
killing themselves. Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
now we're starting to see a bit of a reflection of that in the industry. Because I remember I was looking at fucking one of the companies I was looking to apply for, and it was like,
Insomniac.
why do you want? Maybe. I don't remember which one, but it was like, why would you want to work for us? Then it's like, health benefits, blah, 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 access to this. And then the last one was no crunch time. We don't glorify that behavior. And I was like, whoa, that's
Hell
really
yeah,
cool.
dude.
So, Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart just recently came out for the PS5, and that entire game, like one of the selling points in the marketing was that it was made with 0 crunch conditions, and the game is fantastic.
I was gonna say, I saw a lot of footage for that game.
Give people fucking time.
Give people
If you just wait.
Well, and the thing that's really fascinating is that there's been like, obviously a bunch of studies and stuff that have been conducted and are now coming out of researchers basically saying like, yeah, the reason why games are, or one of the major reasons why games are so difficult to make in large studios isn't because it's inherently more difficult to make a larger game. It's because the studios treat their employees like shit. So over the course of 5 years, people's like health and effectiveness deteriorate to nothing.
Yeah. Well,
It-
wasn't
like-
Hades made without crunch? Because Supergiant is
I'm about
like...
to say Supergiant has never crunched, so that's like just good
Exactly.
in and of itself. Oh wait, so actually I just remembered. So I'm actually supposed to be going to Sahasrara, who is over there. So I actually was going the right direction. What the hell is that? Oh, that's my magic to
portal.
get into the other world or whatever.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels weird now that games are advertising like, hey, we didn't crunch.
Well,
We didn't abuse our employees.
I think it's actually really interesting, right? Because there's a notion in politics, and this is just like human psychology in general, right? But it's like, let's say Adrian and I were competitors in like some political campaign, right? And
I twiddle my evil mustache.
well, and I put out an ad that says, I do not cook babies in the oven, right? And I say that, although I'm not saying this, there is a part of human psychology where some people would see that ad and be like, huh, Adrian must cook babies in the oven then.
And if they didn't think from that, they'd think from the ad where I say, I do cook babies in the oven. That's why you should vote for me.
That's why you should vote for me. No more babies.
If you're anti-baby, well, guess what I do to some babies in the oven?
Oh my fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh. I guess I just go to the Lost Woods now? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Gorge.
Go.
So I gotta
Gorge
do
yourself
this.
on the glutton of man.
On the gluttony of mankind. So I gotta go get the Master Sword, and then I guess I gotta go back up the mountain because there was a thing at the top of the mountain that said if I wielded the Master Sword in front of it, it would give me like some powers.
Man,
And I'm
glut
like,
is a
that
good
seems like
word that
video
should be
game
used
stuff.
more.
What?
I was thinking about how glut is a good word that should be used more often.
Glut.
You glut.
Well, because it's like glut is normally, I guess, would be used in the context of like he glut himself on so much pasta that he fell asleep. That was the story of my lunch today. Not true, actually, but
That was the story of my lunch today. I took a nap right after I ate Popeyes.
I wish I could take one. I want to take more naps. Naps sound really nice.
You hate naps.
No, I don't hate naps. I just can't nap.
Oh, well, I hate naps.
Why do you hate
You hate
naps?
I don't know.
Because naps hate you.
Good story, Grant. All right.
I was gonna say I didn't think you're the type that just hates things without thinking about them.
No, I don't like it because I feel less productive. Unless I have like quote unquote warranted myself a nap, but like to take a nap, I feel really bad about it because I'm like I should do something. Yeah, it's really guilting, I guess, is the thing.
All right, well, don't crunch yourself out.
Don't.
Life crunch.
Don't crunch. Next banter topic.
I'm still thinking about worst job imaginable.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
What are we doing?
Grant, you had, and then I short stopped my own banter topic of which one is more
optimism versus pessimism.
Yeah, but what was it? What was my phrasing exactly? What's more valid? What was it?
Yeah, what's more valid?
Optimism or pessimism? Because I was thinking about this on a particularly bad day that I was having when I initially posted this, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I feel really pessimistic today. Like nothing really seems to be going my way, and I feel really bad about everything. And I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, well, if I'm pessimistic about everything, and then some things go right, that's positive, right? Because like, you know, I had zero expectations, and I got more than I was expecting, so that's good. But if I was being optimistic, that's a lot of disappointment to... What the fuck? That's a lot of disappointment to deal with. Assuming that things don't go your way all the time.
I mean, I guess it depends on the amount of optimism you have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, imagine like cartoon...
fucking great.
Imagine, like, cartoon stereotype of, like, one character is optimistic, the other one's pessimistic. You know what I mean?
Wait, is that... Go back up!
No, that's not the thing. That's a fake one.
But get it.
But it's fake.
Oh, I don't know.
Grant, have you played this game before?
I've seen playthroughs.
Oh.
See, it's fake.
No, it can't be. It's too bad. No. How dare you?
How dare you not carry it?
What kind of fucking trickster is putting fake master swords in this forest?
Me.
Oh, would you do that? Oh, hey, the girl with a master sword.
Oh.
Oh.
There it is.
Wait.
Bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da, ba-ba.
Dude, I can't believe I finally have enough heart containers to pull this out of the rock. Which, by the way, Grant, did you ever did I send you that screenshot that someone posted of like the Master Sword the Master Sword's Grove from Breath of the Wild has exactly these 3 flowers in it?
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, if you look in the background, there is 3 like daisies, and one of them's like off to the side.
Oh, that's
nice.
Hell yeah, dude! So I have the Master Sword, and I can do this.
You can shoot sword beams.
Go! Oh,
beams.
The woodland animals must
now
suffer.
what?
Yeah.
I mean, you said you wanted to go to the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah. All right. So top of the mountain, and then I guess Ganon next week. All right. Well, I don't know. We have an hour. Help! The soldiers are coming to the sanctuary. Who said that? Sriracha sauce?
What? Have you ever heard anyone genuinely scream like it would be spelled A-I-E?
I used to, but I will admit that was purely because I watched too much television.
I was gonna say I've never heard anyone scream like it's. I would say most of the time it's usually like an like A-A-H at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's IE seems like you have to try to say that.
You know what I just thought of? You remember from Ace Attorney 3, there was that part where like college age Phoenix is like sick, so he's wearing a mask, and they have like the joke of when he sneezes, it like pops off his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They really didn't understand that people in America don't do that, huh?
Correct.
They do now.
I was gonna say.
Because I just thought about that because you were saying like I've never heard anyone say IE, and I was like, I wonder if that's like a cultural thing. I wonder if that's just like something that people in Japan do, I guess. And then I thought about that. I thought about Ace Attorney, where it's just like, oh yeah, they really just didn't know about Americans just not giving a shit about the health of other Americans, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you could still say there's a very large contingent of Americans that continue to not do that.
Yeah.
I agree.
True.
Us included.
I have to go back to the us included.
Us included.
I mean,
We're all anti-maskers here, right?
well, I mean, in all honesty, if I remember correctly, of the four of us in this call, I do believe I'm the only one that got COVID.
True.
And it's because you wore a goddamn mask.
It's because you were
No!
his sick shades.
Oh boy, you're a second late. I failed my entrance exam into Columbus University. I'm
I
sad
failed
now.
the prostate exam.
Oh my god, he vanished.
I'm going to cast the invisible spell now.
I just
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm going to
Goodbye.
cast invisibility followed by intangibility. So that way
You'll
I
never
effectively
find me.
disappear forever.
I'm going to cast teleport, but when I do it, it looks like I'm dying.
Oh, I just noticed the Master Sword's longer.
Could you imagine if there was a teleportation, but every time you did, it just spawned a new you, but it just left a fully formed corpse that was you where you left?
There's an internet short about this.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
really
Is it
good.
based on Star Trek?
It's not, well, it might be inspired by Star Trek, but it's the short is really funny where it's this guy who sees like this really hot woman at the park, and he has this just like crudely made box that if he hits the button,
I believe
he
I
can-
showed it to you, Zach.
You did, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a really crudely made box where if he hits the button, he goes back in time like 5 minutes or whatever and can
Oh,
cool.
I fucking love the falling animation. It just makes Link look like, ah!
But yeah, anyway, so long story short, he keeps resetting himself over and over and over and over to try and get with this woman. But the thing is that she's actually like a theoretical physicist. So when he eventually admits, like, yeah, I've been using this to like try to get with you, she goes like, oh my god, you realize what you've done? And he's like, what? No. And it hard cuts to like 300.
Oh, nice.
That's freaking awesome.
Only it came earlier.
Oh yeah, good point. There you go. Thank you, Grit. Yeah, it hard cuts to every single like previous universe because the idea is that it just takes his consciousness and puts it into a new universe as opposed to like, you know, actually bringing him back in time. So there's actually like 40 or 50 dead versions of him.
Oh my god.
And it's like, it's really funny. It's really good. But that's basically
Really
what you
good.
just described, Adrian, accidentally.
Oh. Well, I meant that for teleportation, so you be in the same like timeline and universe, but there's just a corpse of you somewhere, and you can go back and find it and make a bunch of them.
Multiple
Corpse house.
Did you? Well, I know I've talked about it before, but did you guys ever like fully understand how time travel in Steins Gate works?
I don't know what Steins Gate is. Isn't that? Wait, actually, isn't that an anime?
It's an anime, yeah. It's an anime
Okay,
that got a
whatever.
bunch of light novels and like visual novel video games and stuff like that. And whoever makes that clearly thinks way too much about like how time travel works. Because one of my favorite things from that series is that, so initially, and like for the majority of the anime, you can only go backwards in time, right? And then eventually through like discoveries and all that stuff, he invents like a regular time machine that allows him to go anywhere on the timeline he wants. And then he learns that there's actually multiple timelines where, like, you know, the choices you make fracture the timeline into like a virtual infinite number of them. But the thing is that eventually he discovers that these timelines aren't just changed by, like, you know, the choices that people make, but also just the randomness of the universe itself. So he eventually discovers that if you do enough math, like if you do the calculations properly, you can teleport anywhere in the world at an instant moment, effectively, by just finding a universe where it just so happens that your, like, absolute position in universe A is actually in this position in universe B. So that's how he starts just teleporting around like he's fucking God. And I'm like, dude, that's the coolest shit I've ever heard. I love the idea of just being like, oh yeah, in this universe, I'm slightly to the left.
Man, I gotta finish Steins Gate one of
You
these
don't
days.
have to.
You don't have to. It's okay, Lawrence.
It's neat, but it does have issues.
Oh boy.
I just remember that time that we came with a really good one. I don't remember what it is now, but do you guys remember that one time we were talking about monkey's paw superpowers, like superpowers if they had a drawback? And there was one that came with that was pretty good.
That, yeah.
There was one that came with that was really good. I can't remember what it was. Was it the one where you're invincible but you ragdoll when you take damage?
It's really good. Hey, like,
I do like that one.
Like it's Gary's mod with damage turned off, but you still have your physics enabled.
I remember that one's really, but I thought there was different. That one I like because the premise is that you're invincible, you'll never hurt, but every time you would take damage, you instantly ragdoll and can't stop ragdolling for a time commensurate to the damage you took. So if you get shot, you'll ragdoll, go comatose for like several hours maybe, whereas if you get paper, you'll ragdoll but then get back up immediately.
If I remember, and we probably had this exact conversation, but I would believe that my response to that would immediately be, well, while you're ragdolling, can you take more damage? And I think you said yes.
And then it stacks.
Right. So, like, you could effectively, well, I mean, you wouldn't sunlock them forever, obviously, but, like, imagine, like, shooting the person so they ragdoll, right? And then you walk over to their limp ragdoll body and you just shoot them, like, with the rest of the clip, and it's like, all right, we don't have to worry about this guy for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
He won't die, and we know him. We know he's here, but...
But you're fully conscious of what's happening, and then in 40 years, you're going to be pissed.
Right, but you're gonna be.
That's a supervillain origin.
Yeah, there you go.
Man,
heal me.
There was another one that I really liked, but I can't remember what it was from the conversation.
Could it be? I don't know if this is the one, but like when you can, if you can stop time, but if you like move, your like instantaneous velocity gets increased.
It destroys you.
Well, yeah, because like if you stop time and then move 5 feet, in the physics of the world, you move 5 feet in an instant, so your acceleration.
The air resistance would destroy you.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
the amount of drag you're about to
power.
produce this. So you have the power to.
That's a don't push this button.
I was gonna say, so you have the power to pause time once.
Well, I mean, well, actually, you know what? I think about it, and in actuality, that power is a lot more useful than we're giving it credit for, because as long as you don't move that much, you'll be fine. You basically have the ability to pause, observe your surroundings as much as you want, and then resume. So that's actually really useful.
When you try to observe your surroundings, you tilt your head just a little bit.
And then you snap your neck.
Well, then just don't do that.
But you can't even, if you move your eyes, when you wake up, your eyes are going to spin out of their sockets.
All right. How about this? All right. I'll hit you with the patented Zach bullshit. What if?
Right.
So Lawrence.
What if you're a vampire?
No, Lawrence. What if? Because there, as far as your description, there is no limit to how quickly I can pause and unpause, right?
Sure, yeah, I don't state a limit.
So what if I'm actually just infinitely micro pausing
Oh my fucking God.
So I am not building up any momentum or anything like that. I am just instant transmissioning, just going. It's like Grant. It's like when we
You're
were
lagging.
playing Grant. It's like when we were playing that Alien game, and you were like jittering around because the connection was bad. That's me.
That's you.
If you accidentally like shift off your rhythm, you die instantly. That's a very risky game to play.
Yeah, but I have really good rhythm. I played Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah.
Played Rhythm Heaven.
I played Rhythm Heaven, so I'm pretty sure I can handle this.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, I gotta
He is
get going.
All right,
Later,
goodbye,
Grant.
Grant.
Oh,
This was
goodbye,
fun
man.
stream though.
This
Goodbye.
was good.
Oh.
Next match shop. Next bit.
Oh boy. Where did we stop off at?
Have we talked about Lawrence's name being Warlance if you switch around the W and L?
I have
so.
for the entire like 3 years, 4 years that I've known Lawrence, I have constantly called him Warlance. So yes,
That is true.
Warlance is a cool name though.
I agree. Why would I give him a nickname that's bad?
It makes him like a dragoon from Final Fantasy.
Warlance.
I like to think that it's his character class in an RPG, but it just became his identity overall.
Lawrence, how do
He
you
is
feel about the name
Warlance.
Warlance?
Warlance.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at first, but then it kind of grew on me.
Fair enough.
Why didn't you like
"Stop
it at
calling me
first?
I don't know. I guess it was just I was just like, yeah, man, stop calling me Warlance. And then now it's just like, yeah, that's me. I am Warlance.
Oh!
It is a part of, oh my god.
Ah, my eyes.
Yeah.
I got the Ether Medallion. Its magic controls the upper atmosphere and polar wind. Watch your magic meter. Oh, I think it recharges my magic passively now.
Can you equip it as an
nice.
item and see if you can actively use it, or?
Oh, maybe. Let's see. Is it just lightning?
Ooh. Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just lightning.
That's cool though.
Yeah. Hurts your eyes though, so it
Is
inflicts
that-
some
is that a-
damage.
It's like a room clear.
We use it against the
Yeah.
boss.
We played Castle Crashers on stream, right?
No. Technically that was the first thing I ever streamed though, many years ago.
Ooh.
Really? I thought we did. I feel like we played Castle Crashers together.
You know what? You know what? You might be right. I think we did actually.
I was
I
gonna
think,
say,
I think we did. We didn't
Castle
finish.
Crashers together?
I know we didn't finish. Yeah, because I
Right.
would say I believe I played Pink Knight again because Pink Knight's my favorite.
I remember I got a couple levels ahead of everyone because I played the game a dozen times before and I was grinding really hard while I was trying to have fun.
What would you guys do if you were driving and suddenly a giant mosquito eater flies in front of your face? What the fuck is a mosquito eater, Saba?
Whatever eats the mosquito.
Is that an anteater, but it flies?
It looks like a bigger mosquito, I'll be honest. I just Googled it.
Oh my.
Is it?
It just looks like a bigger version of a mosquito.
I think now that you mention it, I think I know what you're talking about, and I've always called them goose flies.
Huh.
Goose fly.
Apparently they're called crane flies, so it's not far off.
Yeah, just another bird.
Wow, these are horrifying. I don't like them. If I was driving and one landed on my windshield, I would assume that we're under an alien invasion.
I would assume we are under attack.
I would assume that aliens have finally arrived and decided to be malevolent and are invading Earth.
Crane fly, goose fly. Yeah, I'm about to say I've seen those before. They're actually not dangerous though, if I remember correctly.
They sure as hell look dangerous.
Well,
if they're
yeah.
hitting the windshield, yeah, I would say they are.
And if it's giant, like how are we talking? Like it's proportional. Like we're a mosquito relative to it as far as size. Because that would be the assumption, and in which case it would definitely be dangerous just by proxy of just by value of size. And I would again assume that we're under attack by alien predators because I wouldn't have recognized one without googling it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I would react to that. I know I'd be freaked out.
I would go, ah, and then keep driving because I need to be safe.
Okay,
Looks
that's your
good.
concern there. You can't just stop in the middle of the road. That's illegal and unsafe.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say, like, what the, like, I don't give a shit if I don't just give a shit if aliens are invading. I'm not gonna get into a car accident. My insurance will go up.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know, I guess I want to ask, what for you is like best case scenario if we make contact with aliens? What do you think?
Best case scenario?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna give you.
us
So I'm gonna give you
technology.
my real answer, and then we can give like funny conversational answer. Because my real answer is 1000%. The aliens show up. They're like benevolent. Like they give us knowledge or whatever, and they teach us how to like become biologically immortal, and I don't have to die anymore.
Okay.
That's best case scenario for me.
Oh.
Lawrence, what about you?
Also, they're super
Oh.
hot, and I get to marry one.
You would betray your own kind.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
You wouldn't want to breed true, Zach.
What racist shit are you talking about?
I don't know. Listen. I never met an alien. All right.
I don't remember anything.
I don't know.
But if I
Remember,
did-
I do recall that during the I think it was actually the first time I said this to like the group was like that first time that Malia ever came over for game night, and I was like, listen, I am the further away you are from me as a like, you know, frumpy white dude, the more attracted to you I am. So if the aliens come and they are just like, you know, blue alien women, like a la Mass Effect, I'm like, hell yeah.
What if they looked like spider tars?
Well,
What if
okay,
they look
Monster
like weird
Musume
insect
spider
looking-
tars, where they still have the big titties, or do they have like the horrible monster face?
They have the big titties, but they're actually venom sacs.
Right, but is she gonna hurt me?
If you honk them too hard, they spit out venom.
If you honk them too hard. For reasons that I will not be getting into live on stream, there might actually be some problems with that. So maybe that would be a deal breaker for me.
Gonna
Oh,
say,
boy.
you have to be real careful if you wanna invest in that.
It's like, all right, babe, we need to put some pasties on before we begin.
Oh my.
All right,
Anyway,
Lawrence, what's your
that's
best case
vile.
scenario?
I'm sorry, Saba. I know you're still here.
what's-
I'm very sorry.
What's Lawrence? What's Lawrence? I assume that Lawrence's best case scenario does not involve spider tars.
Oh yeah, it definitely does not. Best case scenario, sort of similar to Zach, but in a different direction. They're benevolent and
wait,
show us-
sorry to interrupt, but like it's sort of similar to Zach's, but a little different. I want them to show up and instantly kill us.
Put an end to us.
Just kill us
Besides
instantly.
being benevolent, I want them to be malevolent.
And they just
malevolent, yeah.
instantly vaporize all of humanity.
Yeah.
I want this world to end before I can even process what's happened.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be, I think of the end of the world scenarios, I think that's the best.
Yeah.
Like the,
Exactly.
world, like the
Before
world
anyone can
ending and
process.
everybody dying before anybody even registers that something happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, the sun's getting a little hot, and then we're gone.
I'm here I'm here in my room, like, you know, procrastinating from doing editing and stuff, and I'm like, it's kind of hot, so I send like a message to Grant or something, and then we're all dead. Because
And then-
because the
yeah.
sun exploded.
You're just doing something, the screen goes black, it shows a loading screen, and then you're in heaven or whatever.
God, I think I've talked about it before, but like there were so many occasions where like in the early friendship between me and Grant would do like these hypotheticals like this, right? And one of the things that he would, okay, apparently that's not what I was supposed to do.
Strike it, or oh, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna say I don't know how to get through this. If
You're
we could figure out
talking-
if we
yeah.
can figure out how to get through this would be great, because we might finish the game tonight.
So basically, Outer Wilds.
So
Yeah.
basically, Outer Wilds. Well, because I remember there were so many hypotheticals that Grant would propose to me, where he's like, "What if you woke up one day and you were a ghost?" And I would just be like, "Dude, I would fucking cry, because that means I made it to the afterlife and there was something after death. I'd be so happy." And he's like, "Oh, well, what if you were a zombie though?" And I was like, "Same thing. Like, these are the same thing." Anyway,
Lawrence, your ideal alien
Yes.
contact scenario.
Besides aliens improving us biologically, well, I mean that would still be a good thing if that
give
happened. But
me giant venom sac titties.
yeah, but help us improve technology. Technologically, there you go. That's the word. And then we can fucking hang around in spaceships. Let's go.
You just want to hang around in a spaceship that's like futury?
Yeah, futury and homey.
So, I mean, so wait. So do you mean like technology? Everything's just faster, but the aesthetics are still the same as Earth?
That's a good idea.
So I want it to look like a suburban America, but it's on a spaceship, except everything runs way faster.
Actually, yeah, absolutely. Because it always irks me when I see like futuristic movies and all the spaceships is like, yes, gray and metal. It looks very comforting. But
Apparently,
listen,
all
if
you
I
had
see
to
a
do was
house-
hit the energy with the sword.
I had a hunch, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, but yeah, Lawrence.
yeah,
you were
if
talking-
there's like a house looking thing, like a Beverly's house just floating around space, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty comfy.
so
Someone's living life.
So my answer is again another step after Lawrence's, but I want a specific technology. I want
Laser
the technology.
beams.
Not quite. I want the technology of
fast
like
internet.
a at will like Mirage Bay where you can totally
so like-
customize and have it and
that's a
create
good
your
idea.
entire own world, and then whenever you feel like you're tired of it, just leave and then go back to the real world. And I want the technology to be like, I feel everything that I want to and everything. I can see and smell everything. It's totally customizable and everything. I want that level of customization.
So you're just living like some sort of new life. on
Yeah,
top
but
of
I also
your-
want the ability to leave if I want to.
Oh,
Right.
all right. That's my, that's getting a little close to my fear of, hey man, nothing's real.
But Lawrence, would it matter if you could just like your fear of like everything is fake, nothing is real? Like, would that matter if you could just like freely go to different realities? What if all realities are equally valid because you can go to them whenever you want?
If I am
Use the
aware
lantern.
that this is not
I
a
am.
real reality or
like
any
the things.
reality.
Oh, right.
I'm
Well,
gonna
they're
freak out.
temporary, man.
But if you light all of them, then it appeases me.
It appeases me.
It pleases you.
I don't know. I think that could be interesting. Can I actually springboard off this topic into a related topic?
Sure. No, that's not how conversation
No.
with us works. We finish a thing and then we sit in silence for an hour.
True.
Starting now.
Anyway,
One of the things that
Ah.
one of the concepts that's interesting to think about is apparently, according to a lot of like intellectuals and stuff like that. Oh my god, the room gets so bright. One of the theoretical like downfalls of mankind is like digital or robotic relationships. Because the idea is that if we eventually come to the point where we have a simulated, like, artificial relationship that is as good as, if not better than, like, i.e. more satisfying, more gratifying, like the whole 9 yards than a human relationship, then humans would just like human society would just cease to exist. And I don't know how true that is, I guess, because it's just like I think about it. And it's like, I mean, obviously, like one of the core factors of like being a human is like, you know, figuring out what you're doing with your time here and like, you know, finding other people that feel similarly to you, yada yada. And so it's just like, if I just had a robot that just did all that and I didn't have to like, you know, spend 50 years trying to aggregate individuals that, you know, might disagree with me slightly, that'd be really sick. It'd be really cool if I just didn't have to worry about that.
I mean, I will
Yeah.
say that like there is a component of like people will, even if they don't have to, they will still find work to do because work fulfills people, even if it's not like in a corporate sense. Just things that they like doing and want to practice. People just historically do that, even if they don't like have any obligation to.
So can I actually propose a one of the things that I read, because I agree with you, right? One of the things that I read recently that was kind of fascinating was that while I do agree with you, because I know, like, for me, for example, like, if I never had to work another day in my life, I would still, like, try to make things, because I like making things.
Right.
But apparently that is not actually universal. Apparently there's actually a pretty wide contingent of individuals on the planet Earth who just don't want to do anything ever.
I mean, yeah, but there's an equally, if not bigger, contingent of people that do want to do things.
I guess what I'm saying is that I wonder if the ratio is more akin to like the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 that I had described to Lawrence yesterday. All right, it was either yesterday or like earlier this stream, but
I feel like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday, because it's like I wonder if it's like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, where there's like 1/3 of people would actively just generate their own stuff because they feel gratified by, you know, making things or doing things. Another third that just actively doesn't want to do anything. And then another third that won't do anything unless you give them a reason to. Like, they won't just do it on their own. I wonder, and the thing is that it should be noted that this is just all like pontification, because there's literally no way of knowing. But it's just like,
Right.
I think about it because, like, I know I would do great in that society, because like I could just, you know, make video games for the rest of my life, or I could make videos or make board games or host events. Like, I could just do that for the rest of my life and I'd be totally happy.
You know what I'm wondering now is that, like, going back to my thing, I'm wondering if it would be more fulfilling / better if the thing that the aliens had wasn't already a finished perfect product, but something that it was just a societal goal to contribute to.
In what way?
Like
what
anyone that
goal?
wants to could either like just what's the word, utopian society where the only thing you have to do is find, and not even necessarily, but like the only thing you are suggested to do would be,
Dude,
like,
holy shit.
would,
Don't die.
got owned, would be to like find a way to either creatively or mathematically or design-wise contribute to making the simulation more complete, as like, because Lawrence and I both know that art can be very similar, but at the end of the day, art is relatively unique to the artist.
Right.
So, like, if these aliens have like a giant catalog of alien art, there's a chance they might not have an art style that's like mine or like Lawrence's. So if someone felt inclined to like simulate a world where everything's drawn like that, that could be a thing that I do if I want to feel fulfilled, I guess.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yes.
Did Adrian just either accidentally or pseudo on purpose describe the library from Last Airbender?
Well, having a library of knowledge?
Well, because the whole point of the whole point of what's his face's library from Last Airbender was that any knowledge that wasn't already present in the library counts as like an entrance fee to access the rest of the knowledge. So it's like, you know, a dictionary isn't accepted, but the memoirs of your life count because that's something that's not already in the library. So Adrian's theoretical thing is obviously more advanced. Dude, what the fuck is this guy? Yeah, like look at his face.
Hands.
Look at his face.
Look at his grabby hands.
Oh, that's his face down there. I thought he has like a tiara. I thought that the tiara was his
that slime face looking thing.
Yeah, I thought he had like green hair, and then the tiara was his face.
You thought it was like an eyeball?
No, I thought it was. I thought the thing in the thing in the middle was like his mouth.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
am I done? What did I do?
So
I know he just took Zelda, so that's bad.
Mirror? Oh. Well, I will also say that the premise... How did you find me?
You can't do that.
I will say that the premise of a library where it's very selective, and the entrance fee is new knowledge, is a premise that has been explored elsewhere. But I didn't know it was an Avatar.
Yeah,
So it's
my favorite. It's my favorite episode of Avatar.
I'm aware of it because it's also a premise in D&D Front Realms, specifically in a castle that was introduced very early on, but was made well known in 1999, a video game that based on D&D.
Oh.
It's called Candlekeep, and the entrance fee is a book they don't already have.
I was facing the wrong direction.
Book.
But
A script of Mike and Melissa. There you go. New knowledge for the library.
Do manuscripts count?
But I guess in those contexts, it seems like I don't know an Avatar. Do they only want books, or is it literally anything?
Anything.
It's basically any knowledge, yeah. Because one of them donates like an ancient water, or not ancient, but they donate like a water bending scroll that's like a first edition thing. So that's like basically a book, right? But then
others like donated a joke.
Yeah. So Sokka donates one of his really bad jokes, and then Aang donates. I think he donates like a rope that he tied in a knot. Well, he tied a rope. He tied like a rope in like a funky knot, and the bird was like, "I guess that counts, sure." Because by the way, the guardian of that library is like this fucking cool owl dragon.
Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
I love dragons that are weird.
Yeah.
Ow. Agonium. Agonium.
The A in Aghanim is short for Die Link.
It's short for die, Link. What the hell? How was I supposed to know that he was gonna do that?
It looks like the telegraph is the exact same as the other one.
That, Alright, well, once again, we have to do this with 3 health.
Does the telegraph literally not change?
It might.
Because it looks the same to me.
It might literally be, because remember, do you remember from the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Do you remember what you remember the tell for Mike Tyson doing his one-hit KO move?
Yeah, he winks.
No, he doesn't. No. It's not that he winks. Like, he winks for his regular, like, super punch, which is obviously really dangerous, but
Yeah, someone else nods.
Yeah, one of the people in the background goes, "Oh!" because he's about to throw his one-hit KO punch, which has no tell otherwise. So if you're not looking at that one person in the audience, there's literally no way to tell that he's about to do it.
Unless you have muscle memory.
Well, that's the thing, is that it was the only move in the game, I believe, that was randomly based on the time that you started the fight or something.
Right. The RNG for Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson RNG.
Mike RNG Tyson. This is
Mike Tyson's RNG. RNG for Mike Tyson. Someone Cusco meme.
Are you going to shoot lightning at me?
Cusco.
He did shoot lightning at me, okay.
Wow, there was no
Make a safe state.
It appears as if I have to learn it just based on pattern. Which is not cool, but I get it.
Why not make a cool save state?
I'm going to presume... Well, because I can't do it fast on this, or at least I don't know the keyboard shortcut to do it fast.
So can you not just pause mid-combat?
Ooh. Oh.
He's right. He's right, you know.
He's right, you know.
This is lightning. This is lightning.
Yeah.
It's from something, isn't it? He's right, you know. What's that from?
He's right, you know is it's a meme that features fucking what's his face? He was God.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Really? From that movie?
The thing is that it's not actually his quote. Like, he's never said that. But it's literally just somebody took the picture and everybody can hear it in his voice because his voice is so iconic. So when he goes, he's right, you know, you're like, yeah, I get it.
That's a classic early 2000s meme style where you just completely misquote someone.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, they still do that.
Well met. I will draw you into the dark world.
By
He
spinning
draws a
really
dark world.
fast. Does he have wings like a fucking cherub?
Oh my.
Oh my.
It is I, Sriracha Sauce. I am communicating with you across the void through telepathy. Was the golden land, but evil power turned it into the dark world. The wizard had broken the wise men's seals and opened the gate. Now fucking Zool is gonna show up and kill us all. Wait, are we not actually at the end of this game?
No, there's like an entire other half.
Oh.
Oh, I'm remembering
say.
back to when I made the guess, like, yeah, you're gonna beat the final boss, and then the world's gonna turn upside down, and you have to do it all over again.
Oh my
Similar to
god, you were
Castlevania.
right!
I'm surprised you thought that was the end.
I don't know, man. I felt like kind of satisfied because I was like, oh yeah. Well, because keep in mind, I didn't pay for this. So
Right.
So in my mind, like the fact that it took me 7 hours to beat it, I was like, oh yeah, that's like an indie game.
Oh yeah.
I beg you. I will heal you with the power of telepathy. Well, why don't you just do that all the time?
No.
I'm busy telepathizing myself up some bitches.
I'm trying to get the big titty venom alien boobs down here.
You know how
Trying to
much
use
power
telepathy
it
so I don't
takes
get the venom on myself.
how much power it takes to keep Shelob in her woman form.
Oh my god. All right, next banter topic. Wasn't there a banter topic we were talking about and then we kind of like short stopped ourselves?
It was the last one we were talking about was the idyllic alien scenario.
No, we already talked about that one because I think everybody already said it.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Does
and
that
then you
come up with
short stopped
answers?
Lawrence's scenario.
Did he? I thought he.
No, he short something else that Lawrence said, but then you let him continue after.
Oh,
Getty, is that you? No! Shut
No.
up! We're
No, it's the old professor. You know, the same voice, but a little
more
I don't
hoarse
know.
and old
A little more
manish.
hoarse.
Dude, look at these pigs.
Yeah.
Wait, fairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are like the pigs from Minecraft. Alright, we got half an hour. What's the next banter topic? I feel like we've made great progress with banter topics.
How do you guys feel about genre awareness?
What does that mean?
It's when a character is able to recognize tropes from their own adventure and kind of navigate them more effectively because of it.
So in the sense of it being like it's a specific type of fourth wall break.
Yes, they don't know the exact plot, they don't know the exact name of the media they're in, but they're aware oh, the villain's gonna give a monologue now or something, so we have time to do something or whatever. That'd be an example of genre awareness or genre savviness.
I thought it was because I feel like as with almost anything fourth wall breaky, I thought it used to be pretty neat and interesting, but it kind of seems a little overplayed to me. Because I can think of a lot of examples of, characters in the story being like, all right, and now we're in a puzzle platforming section, so make sure you don't fall onto the spikes, but then you are supposed to fall onto the spikes because it's subversive.
Right.
Also, what the fuck is up with these trees?
They're like little octoroks.
Little?
Yeah, you're not 14 feet tall like I am.
You are definitely not 14 feet tall.
I wish I was. Let me dream, Zach. No, I guess you already. I guess you already kind of answered my question, but my follow-up question was going to be, what do you think about incorrect genre awareness, where they think they're in a certain genre but they're in a different one?
Oh, that's way better. That's
Really?
that's more ripe for humor, I think.
Like a character who thinks that he's the hero of this grand tale, but he's actually just a pawn or a side character.
Well, I was gonna give an example that I actually thought of a long time ago, which was I imagined a isekai, like an anime isekai, and the person truly believes that they are the hero of the story and that they're in your typical JRPG isekai thing. I don't need that. Okay, that's interesting. But it turns out that but instead of it being like a JRPG isekai, turns out he's just one of the NPC racers in a racing game.
Oh.
You know, like he was super prepped. Like he went out to go find a sword and to like beef up his like strength and intelligence and stuff like that. That he gets all ready for the adventure to begin. And then it's just like, nah, the race starts tomorrow, dude.
Oh.
I thought that'd be really funny.
Nice. But yeah, I think that there's a specific combination of those tropes that I very much like.
Which is?
Well, I was gonna explain it.
Oh, sorry.
It's in mainly like D&D settings or like tabletop settings, but the idea of like a rival party who think that they're the protagonists.
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Like a rival party, and then like. Because, like, I guarantee you that almost no one nowadays wants to play traditional party comp in any D&D game where, like, we have to have one fighter, one mage, one healer, and one thief. Like, no one wants to do that anymore. Everyone wants to play their own characters, they have cool ideas for the characters, or they just want to try new classes. But I like the idea of this party comp being, like, your traditional thing, and it would make more sense for them to be like, yeah, they're, like, the traditional heroes. They are the classic archetype, they're a well-balanced party, and, you know, all this stuff about them. They're very archetypal, and they think they're protagonists, but they're not. You guys are. I find a lot of enjoyment in that trope, even though I play it out constantly and probably overplay it in my games.
But you enjoy it, so at least it works. But I guess in accordance with that, because I didn't really think about that as being like a version of this trope, but in Wonderful 101, there's actually a like rival, and they're clearly like the rival team, right? Because there's 100 of them, and they look like bad guys and all that jazz. But it's not exactly the same in the sense that they think that they're the protagonist, but it's more in the sense that the rival team in Wonderful 101 has already gone through the majority of their story. Like, they're at the 90% mark when you meet them the first time. So they think that it's like, ah, there you are, my final challenge. As soon as I beat you, I'll win, and I get to save my planet. But, you know, obviously you are the protagonist, like you and the rest of the Wonderful 101. So it's this really interesting thing where they think that it's like, ah, we did all this other stuff. Like, imagine you're playing a video game.
And?
Hello?
I just wanted to see what your response was.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
my
I'm
internet,
imagining.
like,
I'm imagining
crash?
it. All right, I'm in.
I want it.
Wait. Got it.
All right. Sorry. I just thought that'd be funny if I did that. But yeah. So imagine if you're playing a video game and you get 90% of the way through, and like you do all your grinding, all your side quests, everything you possibly can, and then at the last fucking minute, this other team shows up, beats you, and then your story just becomes background to their story.
Oh god.
What the hell? That thing dealt 3 hearts of damage with each hit. I had 9, and then I went down to nothing.
Did you guys play Skyward Sword, Zach Lawrence?
No.
I only watched someone play it.
Oh, did you watch a full playthrough?
Yes.
But
that
was
like
it the
while
Game
ago.
Grumps? Because that doesn't really count as a playthrough. That counts as
Definitely.
that counts as people being dumb on camera.
No, I watch
through.
people who actually like Legend of Zelda
game.
to play the game.
I was gonna say, Zach, I assume you don't care about Skyward Sword spoilers.
Oh, absolutely not. And I'm probably still familiar enough with it for it not to be a spoiler.
Sure.
Yes.
There's a character in that also does that trope. His name's Groose.
Yeah, I know Groose.
That dude.
I love Groose's theme.
Groose is the fucking best, because Groose starts off thinking that he's the protagonist and he's gonna save Zelda, and then he like goes from this egotistical bully asshole to like this humbled person who accepts his role. It's like, yeah, I'm not the hero, but I'm still gonna try to help.
That's nice.
What a lad.
I think that's nice.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know about him like having a change of heart, and that's really nice.
Yeah, he makes the Gruesinator, which is this giant railroad like contraption. Because several times in the game, you have to fight this big monster that comes out of a pit, and he climbs up a like big stair, like spiral, like pit, like hill.
When you say
like
big
there's a
monster,
pit.
is that not Cataclysm or whatever?
Yeah, it's the one that's like got the big like cookie monster like Blackbeard feet thing.
Oh yes.
But he's in the bottomless pit, and he can climb
The
a
ultimate
spiral.
evil in the ultimate evil in the Zelda universe is a giant Muppet.
Right, but anyways, there's this spiral pit, like a spiral ramp leading up from the pit to the outside world, where he has to climb up that, and your goal is to kill him or put him back in the seal before he gets there. And the second or the third and further times that you fight him again, because he keeps coming back, Groose is there with the Groosinator, which is like this railroad catapult thing that he makes to help you navigate it better and shoot him and stun him with stuff. And he's really helpful. And Groose is just cool. Groose and Linebeck are my two favorite Zelda NPCs. And I like them. Linebeck's from Phantom Hourglass, the DS game.
Oh, the captain.
Yes.
Oh, I did. Because I did play that one actually.
Yeah, Linebeck's story arc is cool.
I don't remember his story.
His story is that he was like this famous pirate who's greedy and shit, and he for most of the game is like he just asshole, puts in a brave face. He is renowned as an explorer, and a lot of places people recognize him and be like, oh, you're the famous Linebeck. He's like, yes, I am. But then you, from traveling them, know that he's kind of a coward and a shithead. But then over the course of the story, he slowly grows to like care for you guys, for you, the player, as an adventurer, and like, you know, this young guy who needs guidance in a ship. And then you also find out he has this torrid past with this like hot like pirate lady who's like Linebeck, and his assumption's like, oh, she's gonna fucking kill me. And then you have to fight her off sometimes. At the end, when you finally beat her for the last time, she's like, I just wanted to beat him with one last time. And he never resolves that, and it's really sad. But then there's another part at the end of the game where, actually no, that's in Spirit. No, that's not in Spirit Tracks. No, it's Phantom Hourglass. There's another part at the end of the game where Link gets knocked the fuck out, and Linebeck's like trying to bravely fight with the Master Sword. He wields the Master Sword.
Yo!
This fucking chump wields the Master Sword while Link's beaten unconscious to fend off like this big bad evil guy at the end. And then Linebeck, in saving Link, is willing to like protect him, gets possessed, and you have to fight Linebeck at the end in like a big suit of demon armor.
I vaguely remember this. I did play that game. That's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really surprised that I don't remember this pirate lady that you describe.
Her name's Jolene.
Phantom Hourglass pirate lady. You said Jolene.
Yes.
Correct, it was Jolene. Yeah, no memory of this lady in the slightest. That's really strange.
Linebeck hides from her every single time you fight her. And then Linebeck the second is in fucking Spirit Tracks. No one gives a shit because doesn't do anything.
Super shame.
I know I've talked about her too much at this point, but can we all just pog out over the best pirate woman that's ever been in video games, Captain Syrup?
She doesn't have a midward showing. She's trustworthy. She's trustable. She's trustable.
She's actually incredibly untrustworthy. Funny enough.
Oh.
So that's a game that I do want to play eventually on stream. Wario Land Shake It, and her role in the story is that she. Like, it's really interesting because I know that people make jokes about Wario and Waluigi being gay or whatever, but like based on his relationship with Captain Syrup, because apparently Captain Syrup and Wario have encountered each other like previously in the past. And the thing is that she constantly tries to use... Actually, you know what? I guess this could just be him being gay as well, but... she constantly tries to use her feminine wild and her massive cleavage to, like, convince him to, like, just give her the treasure that he finds and shit. And every time she does, he just, like, pushes her to the side. like really, like, big comedic arm push, like, off the side of the ship or, like, into a wall or whatever. And it's just like, man, that's really funny. But, like, her entire role in the game... is that she is the type of pirate that will use her feminine... I wonder where I'm supposed to go.
Real thinker here, brain teaser.
Oh, what could it mean?
I don't know, I can't figure it out.
I gotta use all 4 of my brain cells.
Actually, how do I leave? There you go. You monkey.
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 Return.
But yeah, because like the idea is that when you gather like gold and loot and stuff from the levels, you use it to buy like upgrades and bonuses and stuff from her. And the thing is that she kind of explains vicariously where she gets all that crap from, and it's from her feminine wiles working on other pirates, but it doesn't work against Wario. So she's just like, all right, I'll give you a fair price. Like,
Nice.
because like I do vaguely recall there's like a thing super early on where like the first health upgrade, the first and I think first of 3 that you can get from her, she wants to sell it to you for 999 gold, which is exorbitantly high, and Wario just goes, huh, and she's like, okay, fine.
Wario makes a villager noise.
He makes a villager noise, but I don't know, man. I love Captain Syrup because obviously she's hot, but also her character is just really funny because not only is she like a sleazy piece of shit, but she's also a badass, and I'm like, that's a good combination.
Do you guys remember Wario Master of Disguise?
What the fuck?
Oh, look, it's Kiki the monkey.
Kiki the monkey Kiki. I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10
spare
rupees?
me?
Yeah, absolutely. Here you go. I will accompany you for a while. Okay, that's interesting. Why?
You really have returned to monkey.
Do you guys remember Wario Master of Disguise?
I don't. I remember Master of Disguise in the movie where he turns into a turtle.
It was a DS game where you play as Wario, and his whole gimmick is taking on like different personas and disguises to gain different powers, and you have to platform through the game.
Is that
it was very strange.
Is that one of the Wario Land games? But then the subtitle was Master in Disguise.
It's not Wario Land. It's just Wario Master of Disguise.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, this was the cover for it. Hang on. Here. I played it, and I remember thinking it was really weird.
I mean, that seems like a really fun premise. I like that.
Yeah. Although I do remember, you had to do a lot of drawing with the stylus to take on different disguise forms, and that was kind of finicky.
That seems less fun.
Yeah.
Do you draw your own disguises?
No, there's a couple of them you have to unlock through the game.
I thought you could like go nuts with the creativity.
There's the base form, which is a thief. You can unlock a like superhero electric form, a scientist form, an astronaut form, an artist form, a pirate form, a dragon form, a devil form, and I think there might have been a couple more, but that's all I can remember from looking at images.
So what you're telling me is that it's actually very functionally similar to Pokemon Ranger the Guardian Signs.
I mean, was that a platformer?
Well, no, because the point of what I'm getting at here was that it wasn't a platformer, but this thing where you say that you have to like draw to like activate your powers or whatever is exactly how it worked in Guardian Signs 2.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting because I wonder what year that came out, because if it came out the same year as Guardian Signs, I wonder if that was a thing where they were like, hey, we have this idea. We have an idea.
Here are the varying Wario forms and their powers. So Thief Warrior was your base form, and you can tackle with it, and that's all you can do. Cosmic Wario is the astronaut Wario, and you can fire laser beams with it. Artist Wario lets you create blocks, hearts to heal yourself with, which is really good. And you can make doors that can warp you certain places, and you can also create shit that walks and has legs. There's Genius Wario, which is a scientist. You can just make a big punching cartoon glove, and that's the genius one. There's a Sparky Wario, which is the superhero one. You draw a lightning bolt, and you can create light, zap people, or activate broken machinery with electricity. There's Captain Wario. I like Captain Wario, actually. You activate it by drawing a prow, like on a ship.
Cool.
And you can use it to either speed up his paddling or make him shoot torpedoes. Dragon Wario, you draw a tail and you can breathe fire, and then Wicked Wario, you just fly, but you have to blow into the mic for that one, so that one's hard to use.
So I'm gonna springboard off of that real quick, just because this was something that I learned the other day that I thought was really interesting. You remember you obviously know Chatot the Pokemon? I didn't know this because I never I mean, Lawrence, you know who Chatot is, obviously.
I'm making fun.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because I thought about it for a
Because
second.
I am
like,
known
oh,
as the guy that doesn't know Pokemon.
exactly. So I thought
it.
about it for a second. I was like, oh shit, Lawrence might actually not know who Chatot is. But anyway, in Diamond and Pearl, when Chatot was first introduced in Gen 4, Chatot had like a signature move which utilized the DS's ability to use the DS's ability to record audio. And the thing was that I had never was it called Chatter? It's called Chatter. I had never encountered that, or like obviously I saw the move and I learned it, but I didn't actually know that you could do that for whatever reason, or at least I didn't remember it. But apparently that was one of the reasons why Chatot was one of the Pokemon that was like banned from competitive play, because although Chatot had no competitive viability whatsoever, people would bring him all the time to the competitions just to fucking cuss. because you could just because while it was recording your audio for the move dealt more damage the louder you were, so you could just scream into the mic, fuck. And then every time Chatot used Chatter, it would just go, fuck. And that's the funniest shit to me.
I looked it up.
Really funny.
I looked it up. It's interesting. Apparently, the volume doesn't affect the power. It only affects the confusion rate because it's a 65 power move that has a chance of confusion.
Okay.
And then if it's a low audio recording, it's a 1% chance. If it's medium, it's 11% chance. And if it's high, then it's a 31% chance to confuse.
That's pretty high.
It's high. There's moves that guarantee confusion. It's not the best move, but again, just like you said, I could see other reasons why people might not like it.
It just makes me laugh just when I think about it, just because people are such shitheads. I'm like,
yeah.
They like Chatot, who already wasn't competitive, is now banned.
Oh, here's the trivia page. Prior to the discontinuation of Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, Chatot was banned from the Pokemon Global Battle Union, presumably because of Chatter being abused to record vulgar words and phrases. This abuse is also presumably the reason for the ability to record audio for the move being removed starting Generation 6.
If I recall correctly, because this is like another thing, was that the first time that, like before they caught it, right? The first time that Chatot's chatter saying something that it's not supposed to was recorded, like for like competition, was, oh my god. Okay, well that didn't go exactly as planned. Was Chatot saying Santa's not real, which is really funny to me. That's so mean. That's so mean-spirited. Because you know kids are going to be playing it. And obviously the kids aren't necessarily going to be participating, but they might be watching.
Yeah.
And just being like, Santa's not real. No!
So fucked.
Oh, it's so good. Oh. Dude, for it only being a 3-hour stream, I feel like we did a lot today. I guess it's because we've been talking literally the whole time, as opposed to yesterday where I was just like quiet for an hour. Once again, no problems, Lawrence, but it's just funny. I'll have to, I think I am gonna adjust the schedule. I think next Friday we'll probably just start at 8. It's so much nicer to just, because it's not even really streaming, right? And I know we've talked about this before, but it's basically just hanging out. And I appreciate that way more.
Well, isn't that why we started streaming in the first place? Just to hang out?
Yes, 1000%. Because it was just like, I don't know. There was a moment where, once again, it's happened pretty consistently, but there was a moment where I hit affiliate where I was like, all right, I gotta get serious. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, I don't want to get fucking serious. What do you think I'm gonna do?
This is serious.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Fucking play Minecraft every day?
We're gonna play Warzones every day? Fortnite time?
Apparently one of the things that I could do, allegedly, according to some individuals that I've talked to in the back channel, was apparently Risk of Rain has a really dedicated YouTube community that will watch like 2-hour-long VODs like consistently. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, could you imagine me being a freaking
Risk of Rain YouTuber?
Risk of Rain 2 YouTuber, yeah, exactly. Just like how Northern Lion does Binding of Isaac still.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell?
What the heck?
Okay.
Puzzle time.
Bye. Oh! Alright. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, he's attacking me. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He shot at me. What a naughty boy. A naughty, naughty boy.
So naughty.
Also they very slightly don't. They're very slightly too slow. So what's your guys' plan for tomorrow? Lawrence and I are gonna play some split second. We're gonna parsec. I'm gonna show Lawrence possibly one of the best racing games of all time, and he's gonna fucking pog out of his mind. Dude, I don't know if I can beat these guys.
And I'm going to run D&D and then sleep the rest of the day because I only have enough enemy to do one thing per day.
What about the ice rod? Does this work? No. How do I? Oh, I can just slash at them.
Oh.
That simplifies it, yeah.
Well, I couldn't do. Oh, I guess I just can't do that to the red guy. Well, how do I defeat the? How the frick do I defeat the red guy?
What about?
Well, you're out of magic, so.
Have you tried bombing the red guy?
I guess not. Let me try the arrows first, real quick, just because I've already used a bunch of. Oh! Oh, that's him mimicking my attack.
Whenever you attack, he does. Okay.
Oh, I had a fairy. Yeah, dude. Oh, the arrow works.
Perfect.
There you go. Can't wait to be back for Okami. When are you back exactly, Saba? Are you gone for another 6 months? 5 months?
13 months.
13
47
months?
months.
When are you coming back? Because I also have that
you
Hawaii trip in the end of July, which is still a while away, but not that long way.
Saba says she should be back next week. Okay.
Next week. Ooh.
What the hell? They turned tiny. Wait, do I? Oh, I thought I got the hammer or something, just because I see the springy guys. I remember them from A Link Between Worlds. So I guess with the last 7 minutes, we could talk about this because, you know, it's kind of popular nowadays to shit on the Game Grumps a little bit, and I don't necessarily want to do it because it's like popular or whatever, but. I will say that a few Twitch personalities that I've recently gotten into, they've all been, for whatever reason, they've all been talking about like the Game Grumps. And one of the things that I love reading is like, or love hearing them say, is people being like, yeah, the Game Grumps, they're really entertaining guys, they're really fun, but Jesus Christ, Aaron sucks at video games. And I'm like, because it feels gratifying almost, because it's like, since we're not YouTubers, the argument has always been that, well, you don't understand, it's like way more difficult to like play video games and talk at the same time. And I agree that it is, but other YouTubers are chiming in and they're like, all right, but it's not that hard. Like,
well, I mean, I thought it was been forever known that about the joke of Aaron is bad at video games.
No, right, but it's like to the point where like some of these like YouTube / Twitch personalities are being like, he should really get his shit together a little bit. And I'm like, yes, finally, somebody acknowledges it.
Speaking of the Game Grumps, did any of you care to watch the Magic Crystal?
The what?
A Magic Crystal.
It's the newest NSP song that came out, and it has like a 12-minute animated, partially video.
Oh, I saw a tweet about it. I did not watch it though. Is it good?
The animation is frankly fantastic. It's super good.
Nice.
What about the song?
I like the music, but
I like it. It's music's subjective. It's catchy. If you listen to a 12-minute music video enough times, you'll think it's good.
Fair.
does it compare? Like, so assuming that Danny Don't You Know is a 10, what rating does Crystal, what is it, Crystal Horse, Last Unicorn?
The magic crystal.
The magic crystal.
I would say that if Danny Don't You Know is a 10, this is also a 10.
Really?
Ooh.
Okay.
I would say so.
Okay.
High marks.
It's definitely a very different tone.
Because Danny Don't You Know makes me fucking cry.
I was going to say, it's a very different tone. It harkens back to a lot of classic NSP humor, in that Danny constantly gets the shit kicked out of him, but I still think it's funny. You might not, if you don't like that humor or sick of it or whatever.
How do can I jump this? Can I jump? I can't jump.
Do you not have Rock's Feather yet?
No.
Oh.
Use your legs.
Use your legs.
He doesn't have legs. He only has little red stubby feet.
Use your feet.
See, I can't push that. I can push this to leave, but I can't. How do I get back in?
You can't push.
You can't push. Give him a little push. Dude, I don't know how to proceed now. I have the boss key.
Yeah.
Or not boss key, I have a big key.
Do you have the boss baby?
God damn it.
You have the Boss Baby the sequel?
That's one of my favorite tweets of all time. It was a guy just doing like one of those asterisk hypotheticals where it was a guy who has only ever watched the Boss Baby watching his second movie ever. You know, I'm getting a lot of Boss Baby vibes from this.
I was gonna say.
It's really good.
Oh no.
I really
also, I didn't realize that the Rock's Feather wasn't in Link's Past. I could have sworn it was, but apparently it's not.
It's in Link's Awakening, I know that.
I know, that's where I got confusion from.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know where Big Key is.
Oh my god. Do you know what game I would really love to play?
Super
with, like,
Duper Mario
multiplayer?
Brothers. Oh.
Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures.
Isn't that with the 4 links?
Yes.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Zach, you made a sound when I mentioned it. Was that because of the
was
game?
that a good sound?
Yeah, it was
or
because of the
sound?
game. Because I forgot that I have to beat these guys again in order to...
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure is a game that I never got to enjoy because I didn't have friends. And it's supposed to be for multiplayer.
Which is a weird design decision. Because, like, I will admit, like, this is, like, a slight tangent. Like, we could probably figure something out for 4 Swords, maybe. Because I will admit that I do have a ROM for it. But, I was one of those kids that didn't have any siblings or friends to like trade Pokemon with, so I would buy both copies of the game, and then when back on the Game Boy Advance, Pokemon could only be traded via the link cable. So I owned 2 Game Boy Advances and a link cable, just so that way I could get all the Pokemon.
I want to clarify. There's Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, which is single player, and then there's Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, which is mandatory multiplayer. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was confused then.
That one's for the GameCube.
Come on! Let me go!
Or sorry, it's not mandatory multiplayer, but it's like way harder to do if you're not doing multiplayer.
File. Save game slot 0. Alright, well, on Friday, we'll be back for more of this. Hopefully the VOD for this stream actually saves this time, because that'd be really annoying if it didn't. Today was a much better stream than yesterday. Oh, excuse. And it's just like, I really want to preserve that, you know? Yeah. But with all that being said, we'll be back on Friday. We'll be starting at 8 just for the sake of this. Actually, I don't know. Saba might be back on Friday, but we'll figure that out. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. But yeah, great stream. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. We're gonna end it here. I think my relatives are still here. So yeah, Lawrence, I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.
11.
Yep, 11.
Farewell, everyone.
New shorter time things. Farewell,
Indeed. Farewell,
Change the
everyone.
world. My final message.
Be the change in the world.
Goodbye. All right. Good night, stream.